And we are live. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I've got two lovely ladies and a gentleman, Fred Hill, with me. It's right now I've got Donna, Seraphina, and Ziggy, who has been delving into the Summer Wells case for years. In the last, Ziggy, when did you get married? Was it about a year or two ago?
Oh, gosh. 4/8/24.
4/8/24. Okay, so April 8th, 2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're going on 2 years here.
That's awesome.
Well, 6. Huh?
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
That's a big deal. Yeah. Go ahead.
Fred's right here. Say
Hi.
hi.
Hi, Fred. Thank you, Fred, for offering up your time to join us today. We have had some technical stuff, but we're good to go now. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So I thought that oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you could go. I was going to comment on what we were talking about before.
Yeah, please. Please.
That the sacrifice thing that we were watching a clip.
I'll play the clip again, Ziggy, and then you offer what you believe, okay?
Okay.
Let's do that.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. We'll have the Falun Gong testimony tomorrow.
Wow.
So the birth certificate thing is what I was because that was something that was talked about early on in the case about whether, Summer was ever born at actual hospital. Okay. Or I kind of wondered if, Candace was having all her children at home. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I kind of wonder if there's actually any documentation of the kids being birthed at a hospital. Because I really am suspicious about that whole thing, especially certain ones that Candace had been hanging around that had gotten in trouble for birth certificates or was investigated for, which was Marlena Crawford. I'm saying her name because it's already been mentioned, but she was somebody that was staying up there at the Wells, and she had been investigated with something to do with birth certificates. So,
wow. Ziggy, tell me, Marlena Crawford, is it correct she has a daughter around the same age as Summer was, and that's the daughter that she used to play with Summer? Am I remembering that right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, you can. Yep, and her name, Journey, which is she was supposedly, they said it Summer's best friend, but okay. She's supposedly doing well and's been adopted by Marlena's sister. And
really, so she had a difficult upbringing, just like Summer, probably. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I imagine because,
Can you imagine the stuff she witnessed, little Marlena's daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she witnessed a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, she talked about to some about I'm trying to think who it was that she supposedly mentioned seeing a bag being packed.
Yeah, she's seen a bag being packed on the 13th, which is on Friday.
Yeah. Did you
bag being packed as in somebody planning to leave? Somebody
right. Right. You had overheard that, hadn't you?
I honestly hadn't.
Well, I was talking to Fred about him overhearing it because he knows he knows the people who have Journey now and everything. Like, he's known them for years, his whole life. So, and Fred had overheard Journey speaking on.
Yeah, speaking on the bag. She never said a briefcase or nothing. She said it was a bag that they had packed for summer.
Wow.
Said they were supposed to go on a trip or something.
Donna, this totally.
I never heard that. I didn't even see. I think you guys know way more than us. And
Yeah.
even in the last couple of years, I'm so busy with people asking me for help that I only hear occasionally when someone tells me. It's like I don't even know what's been going on, for what's been discovered in the last couple of years.
Ziggy and Fred are a wealth of knowledge. They really are. About the Summer Wells case. Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. Okay.
Well, Marlene,
go ahead.
Marlena tried to say that Grandis had brought Journey back on the 13th. But from my understanding, the place that they were staying, that Grandis brought Journey and Marlena back like 7 something in the morning to their address on the 15th.
But of course, Marlena's not saying that.
No, Marlena's not saying that, but the people that she was staying with said that at the time.
Said that she was dropped off that morning.
Yeah, in her driveway by Grandis.
On the 15th.
That Summer was, or that Marlena was?
Marlena's daughter, right? Say that.
Are you talking about Journey or Summer was dropped off at the driveway?
Talking about Journey, right?
Yeah, talking about Journey.
Journey was dropped off by Marlena
and Journey was dropped off like 7 something that morning.
On the 15th.
On the 15th was what the people that she was staying with told me.
They were dropped off at Candace's house?
No, at the place where
Journey is now.
On the same day Summer went missing, she turned her daughter over to some other people.
So basically, the reason why Marlena came out and said that she wasn't there on the 15th. It's basically the reason why this is being brought up, because she said that she left on the 13th.
Yeah.
But what
Fred tried to say that they brought Journey home on the 13th morning.
Oh, okay. But according to people who stay at the house that Journey's staying at now, because also she was staying there before Summer went missing too, a lot too. So it's not like
she would just let Marlena take her every now and then.
So Journey is now with Marlena's sister. Okay. So, but she was already staying there all the time anyways before Summer went missing. So, but what was said by them is that Grandis had dropped Marlena and Journey off on the 15th, the morning of the 15th, but that's not what Marlena's telling everybody. So that's what we meant by that.
That's really weird that there would be varying stories, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a big ordeal, right? Just matter of fact. Why would there be varying stories? It makes me kind of curious, for sure.
People, distancing yourself away from that day,
Because I didn't know at the time that Marlena had even been staying at the Wellses or nothing until I found out through the one that Journey's with now.
Okay. Now, if we can back up a little so we can sort of help people who maybe don't know this case that well. They know a little bit about it, but they don't, let's say, know who Fred Hill is and who Ziggy is and who Donna is. Or we'll just say, okay. Fred, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Fred, would you tell me how many generations does your guys' land, like, do you guys, your family, your lineage go back in that area of Rogersville?
How many generations?
Yeah. Was it just 2 generations though, actually? Well,
or approximate? Because
it used to be the road, Ben Hill used to be named something different.
It used to be named Little Patty Morlock Holler before it was Ben Hill.
Little Patty Morlock Holler. And let's see, so was your Ben Hill, was he the first generation of Hills on that?
Yes, Ben Hill was, yes.
So that would be your
Great grandfather.
great grandfather. That would be your dad's
My dad's
dad.
Oh, so the road is named after your dad? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Or, well,
my
his
grandfather.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
That's so cool, Fred.
Yeah.
So your family has roots there going back long time.
Yeah.
Did you grow
Till
up
1943.
1943.
1943? Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about how you grew up, your upbringing and stuff, Fred?
Well, I was born on and raised on Ben Hill. Actually, I was raised way on past where the end of road is now, past Ed Redmonds and stuff.
Further
the next
deep.
Place. Yeah, further deep in the holler.
Yeah, it even goes back further, but
Then we moved back. We moved down to and had a house built at 167 Ben Hill in 1980.
Okay.
And I was 4-year-old when we moved down there.
Gotcha.
yeah.
But
And did you grow up with both of your parents in the home, or just
yes,
okay? So raised by both. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
Okay. And did you know your neighbors growing up? Did you remember the point where wasn't it Don's mom who had a home, like the home that they live in now? Don, it was Don's mother, right?
Yeah, Don's mother.
Okay. And
Do you remember?
you knew her or no?
I knew of her, but I didn't know her.
Do you remember her moving in?
Karen Gold.
Yeah. Do you remember when she moved in? Like, do you?
I was trying to think what year that they had that house built there.
Oh, I was just wondering if you remembered like them like moving there. Like,
No, I really didn't.
I was in the 90s, right?
No, I can't remember if I've ever even seen Karen Gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that is like
Because the one I seen, I was thinking was Karen Gold, was actually Pam, Don's first wife.
so. Pam was staying down there sometimes.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I thought
That's
that was
weird.
Karen
That's
Gold
odd.
for a little bit.
That's odd that his ex-wife was staying there with him.
Yeah, that is a little weird for sure.
Well,
And then-
Fred, what I'm wondering is when's the first time you ever met Don Wells? Like, was he
Yeah,
up there as a kid, or when's the first time you ever became aware of Don Wells, at least?
I mean, first time I ever spoke to Don, I was trying to think what year it was.
Doesn't mean to be exact, but
yeah,
It
approximately.
was probably 2014 or 15.
oh, okay. So
Just 10 years ago. So you didn't know him till he was an adult. Then he didn't grow up there. In other words, Don Wells
No.
did not grow up there.
No, he didn't grow up there.
Oh, his stepmom had that property, and then his dad went and married her, and so then they inherited the property or something.
Yeah.
well, it was the
I get
stepdad's property, Goad's property. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I think so, wasn't it? It was Goad's property first, and then she married Goad, William Goad, and then
Yeah, I'm not for sure how all that was really.
but yeah.
And then how far away is your property from 110 Benton Hill Road where or I should rephrase that because I don't know if they let you say addresses, but
It's
I mean
like
it's
5
out there in
minutes
the
of a
public
mile.
domain.
Oh,
But
that's a good
how
point.
far away was your property from the Wells property?
It's about a quarter of a mile.
That's
Oh,
very close.
so you could hear screaming if they were all screaming and fighting, you might be able to hear it, right?
Well, the way that holler lays out in there, I mean, I'm on the other end of it, and there's so many valleys and hills and stuff in there, it cuts a lot of the sound off and stuff.
Okay.
Seems
Fred,
long. It seems further than a quarter of a mile to me, but seems like it more like at least a half mile. But
gotcha.
it's probably not. It's just windy, you know.
It's a long, windy road.
Right. Fred, can you take me back in time to June 15, 2021, when Summer Wells went missing? Can you put yourself back into that space and kind of relay how it all went, what you remember about it? so that the listener understands just how close you are to this situation and Summer Wells' disappearance, that you were basically sort of, I don't want to say a witness, but you absolutely lived close enough to know what was going on for the most part.
What's she trying to say now?
So describe what you witnessed on the 15th. Like go back to the 15th and
I mean, the whole day, or
Yeah, the whole day.
Yeah, the whole day.
Yeah.
Just start with everything you remember from that day.
Yeah.
Starting when you woke up and everything that happened that day.
well, when I got up that morning and stuff, I left and had went to get cigarettes and stuff. And when I had went out of the hollow, I seen Dawn and the boys coming out from their driveway and stuff.
like around
He was around 8 something that morning.
Okay.
But
which he was with the boys, so that's odd.
yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be, I don't think. But anyway.
Right.
And then I'd went to Kingsport and got cigarettes and then come back, and for like three days there was a white HHR when you come to the stop sign at Ben Hill. If you look down the road,
Mhm.
which the first place you see is Simpson Loop, but straight across from the shed of Dawn and Candace's on Beach Creek, there was a white HHR set there for a couple days before someone went missing, and it was there that morning when I went out to get cigarettes as well.
Okay.
And then it was still there when I come back in. Then I messed around there at the house and stuff, and there's a lot of tree trimmers in the holler that day, cutting power lines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to think what time it was. I tried to go down and load them cars and stuff. I tried to load some cars to haul off that day, but I ended up didn't get none hauled.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I seen when I was trying to load that one car at 167, I had the truck and trailer. Well, before that, let me back up. Before that, there's a blue truck that came in before I went down to 167 to try to load that car up. But he had went in and turned at Ed Redmond's and come back out just a little bit, and it was parked in between my driveway and Ed Redmond's driveway, which I had never seen that truck before.
Interesting.
Well, when I come out of the driveway, it was still sitting up there. When I come down the holler, I pass a girl driving a Mississippi tag coming in. And then I went on down to try to load that car and was having a big issue with trying to get loaded. And then the way I had my truck and trailer parked there, my truck was out in the road, and Andy come in, and I had to move the trailer and stuff to let him go on by. And then I waited for him to come back out, and I thought he may have went to his uncle's or something. He was in there for a little bit. And then I pulled back out in the road. By the time I pulled back out in the road, him and the blue truck come back out. So I actually had Laura just to back the truck up at that point because she was sitting in the truck. And then I'm trying to think.
And it's only a 1-lane road. You can only
it's just a 1-lane road. I mean,
so he had to move it to get it out of the way to let Andy by. So there's no way he did not see Andy on the road.
yeah, that was about 340 or something other.
What was Andy driving?
Seraphina.
A Kia?
Yeah.
Is it a car with a trunk?
It's a Kia Soul.
Kia Soul.
It's like
Okay, one of the square cars. And what was the female with the Mississippi tag driving?
He appeared to be I can't think what color it is. It's kind of an odd color, blue.
Okay.
But it was a Nissan something.
A
Like a
Nissan. So
Yeah.
that
But
one
they
had
tried
it.
to say that one was cleared. Would they tell you?
They tried to say that she was a college student that had came in to visit Ed Redmond.
That's
And
a-
then you're saying there was a white Ford Taurus there for 2 or 3 days?
No, there's a YHHR that said at Simpson Loop
What's that
for
HAR mean?
the
What's that
13th and 14th and the morning of the 15th.
But
H-
what does HHR mean?
I could show you guys real quick.
It's a
Hang on.
Chevy.
Oh, it's
Is
a
it-
Chevy. Is it a Chevy truck or a Chevy car?
I'll show you,
It's a
Donna.
car.
I'll show you what they look like.
Yeah, kind
They
of
look
look like,
like this.
you know, they always remind me kind of the PT Cruisers.
Yeah, they look a lot like a PT Cruiser.
Yeah, they remind me of
Yeah.
that too. So they look like that kind of Donna. It was a white
Yeah.
one. That's what he
Okay,
saw.
and so that is not Jackie's car, that homeless guy that was, or the guy that someone sold
Jackie's
land
not.
to and that thought he was going to
No.
be able to live there or whatever. It's not his car. So
No.
there's Andy Bernard, some lady with a Mississippi
Yep.
thing, and those are the ones you saw. But you for sure saw Andy Bernard. What's his
But
relative's name?
the blue truck, it was like a GMC Canyon
Style. Yeah.
style truck. It's
Okay.
probably a 2000 and I'm saying 6 or 7 model.
Did you
It was
know?
a single cab. It was real dark blue, almost black. With what stood out about it so much, the windows and stuff was so tinted, so dark you couldn't see nothing. You couldn't see through the side or nothing. But when you could see through the windshield and tell that they was 2 people in it, but you couldn't tell whether they was men, women, or what.
And this is the car with the Mississippi tag.
No, that's the
Blue truck.
blue truck.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay, so that's
Well,
Mine
see, that's the one that was behind Andy when Andy come back out. It was almost like that they was waiting
For
on
Andy.
him or something.
Yeah. And
so Andy went up in there, and when he came out, there was a car just shortly behind him that looked like it might have been there with him or doing business or whatever. And then
Yeah.
it was that was a truck, a blue truck
Yeah, it was a blue Canyon truck.
with heavily tinted windows.
yes,
Yes.
heavily tinted windows.
Okay.
Like
I have-
limo tent.
I have a question real quick for Fred. And I hope I don't jump ahead too far by asking this. But later on, it came out that there was a suspicious red truck that had what was it? Buckets on the back. Did he
Mhm.
ever see a truck like that day?
No, I never seen no truck like that day.
Okay.
And there's several cameras that was on the road. I mean, the cameras that was on Ben Hill was from Simpson Lane on into Ben Hill Road, which Simpson Lane's past Dawn and Candace's driveway, the next road to the right.
It's even past
Andy's.
Jody Sue and Andy's
Yeah.
too. So anybody who was in the beginning of the hauler
Yeah.
wasn't on camera. So that's how, like Andy passed his house to go back there, which was odd.
Right.
He was, but his uncle did live back there, but
Okay.
What's his uncle's first name? Do you know?
John
John.
John.
Smith.
Oh, John Smith is Andy Bernard's uncle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he's
But-
passed now.
And yeah, he just passed like a year ago.
He's dead too. Just add him to the dead list.
Damn, all these people are dead. Well, not all, but a lot of them.
I know, it's crazy. It doesn't seem normal. It
No, it
seems
doesn't. It doesn't.
And John Smith lived across from the barn. A barn.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Ziggy and Fred, question for you real quick. Whose cameras were on that road? Were those like game cameras, hunting cameras?
Mhm.
Were they?
Yeah, they was all game cameras. One of them, the first camera that was on Ben Hill Road was the Thompsons, which is their driveway straight across from Simpson Lane off of Ben Hill.
Which is confusing because there's Simpson Lane and Simpson Loop. So see why it's confusing, because the HHR was over at Simpson loop,
Yeah.
which is over there. It's so
Which
confusing,
it was
guys.
never
There's
on camera nowhere.
Yeah. And I wanted to say about the blue truck before we moved on from there, law enforcement was that's one of the last time we talked to them, they were really, that was all they were wanting to know is if we knew who was driving that blue truck.
Okay.
Everything else, it seemed like that's what they called us back about. Because I emailed TBI and was like, just letting you know, I hope you guys know that Fred worked with law enforcement. So I'm like, is there some kind of like, miscommunication between these law enforcement agencies and stuff? And they forwarded my email immediately to Pruitt, and Pruitt calls me like within a couple days, like immediately. And I was like, I don't know. I just felt like he was like mad at me or something for contacting TBI. That's how I felt.
Pruitt is an AH, if you ask me. He is. Donna,
he
you know what
comes
I'm
off
talking
very
about, right?
cold. And
I've tried to call him 5 times.
Yeah, he's an
But
asshole.
he's not interested in
he
talking.
really thinks that he truly thinks, like, from what I heard from people that know him real well, is that he thinks a bear took Summer. He said that
Pruitt said that's his official story, that he thinks a bear took. Okay, then just write him off. Don't even go straight to TBI.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
But
there's
every
law
time you
enforcement
send
involved
anything
with
to
trafficking
TBI,
children in Tennessee. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Fred.
You're right, Donna. You're right.
Go ahead, Fred.
but
Okay,
when
sorry.
we were sending stuff to TBI, they sent it back to Pruitt for Pruitt to follow up on it.
Yeah, it's and then yeah, it's weird. It's like they send each other back and forth to Hawkins sends you to TBI, TBI sends you to Hawkins, but it worried. I made me nervous when they did that. I'm like, oh no, like, am I in trouble or something? I don't want law enforcement against me. You know what I mean? Gosh,
I know. That's
this is like, yeah, it didn't feel right. But
trust me when I tell you, just call TBI.
Yeah.
If Pruitt is dismissing what you say, call TBI.
Yeah, that's just
if
like
you got their ear, call TBI.
He was just like, what, because I was like telling him about, I was like, why, aren't you guys questioning Andy? He was on the road. We know he's on the road. Fred saw him. I mean, and law enforcement's talked to him about, why aren't you guys pressuring? And he like would kind of ignore it. And I know that there's a gag order. So I'm trying to put myself in his shoes and try to think of it from his viewpoint. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Okay, you know what though? Let me cut you off a second. Okay, we're jumping ahead. So we got into that day, the day Summer went missing. We've got all these vehicles. And then at what time do you become aware? Like, go back to where you become aware that Summer's missing. Are they running around on the hollow looking for her? What's going on, Fred?
Well, see, I left out and was going to Kingsport, and there's a motorcycle was broke down on the side of the road before you get to end of Beach Creek on the left. And I stopped to ask him if he needed any help and stuff. And he said it'd be nice if he could find somebody to haul it. So I told him, I said, well, I'll have to go hook my trailer up. So I went back to Ben Hill, and I didn't see nobody when I went back to Ben Hill.
About what time?
Probably about 4, right?
That's probably about 4:15, really.
Okay, so you went back to Ben Hill Road around 4:15. You didn't see anything going on.
I didn't see nobody along the road or nothing.
So when you go back to your house at Ben Hill, do you pass those barns that are up there, or is it near the barns? Oh, you passed the barns?
Yeah.
Well, the one.
And you didn't see anyone at the barns at that time?
Not at that time. I didn't know.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then I went back. Once I got the trailer hooked up, I went and loaded that motorcycle, and we left from there and went to Zoomers and got gas. And then I took it on the west side end and dropped it off. And then when I left from dropping it off, I went back to Zoomers, and that was roughly around 5:30. And I seen Andy back at Zoomers getting gas at 5:30.
Yeah, so he saw Andy again, like
a couple times.
Yeah.
Where's Zoomers at compared to Ben Hill?
It's in Kingsport.
So that's the gas station in Kingsport at Zoomers.
Yeah.
And
It's right
he was getting gas in his car.
yes.
Interesting.
When you saw Andy that day, what was your interaction like with him?
There wasn't really no interaction when he come in to holler that day and stuff, and I moved the truck. We never even spoke to each other, not or nothing for his words. I mean, I just threw my hand up at him and he went on, you know.
And you
But
said
at Zoomers, I don't think there was even anything mentioned at Zoomers, any words between us. I just seen him there, you know.
Right.
So then you went back home after Zoomers?
No, I had went to a friend's house because I was in the drug scene and stuff at the time. And
you went to Donald Bernard's house?
No,
I didn't go to Donald's at that time. I went to another place and had picked up some. I'm just being honest. Picked up some dope and stuff there. And then when I left there, I stopped on Long Star Road at a place that a lot of people hangs out at, actually to sell some stuff there.
Okay.
And then when I left there, I went straight towards Ben Hill. And then
when he was at, which by the way, when you were out there to sell some
you can just say sell something. You don't gotta
you saw some people there too. So there's certain people he saw there
there's certain people I saw there, and certain people that should have been there that wasn't there. So
who should have been there?
Oh gosh. That's probably one of the names that he didn't want to mention.
You don't want to say that.
Well, I mean, a guy named Doug and then a guy named Pete.
Those people are usually there, but they weren't there that day.
Yeah. And both of them ain't no longer alive.
Oh, and they're both dead too?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Doug
so
is the one that...
Can I ask you a question? And we're not accusing anybody of anything, but was this place on Lone Star Road, was that Donald Bernard's place?
No, it was a place before you get to his place, but he was actually there.
Oh, Donald Bernard was at the hangout?
Yeah.
Okay. And he has a stammer,
Donald Bernard was there.
He does have a stammer. We're not accusing him of anything, but he does have a stammer, correct?
Yeah.
And he's relatively thin built?
Is he relatively thin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Okay. Okay, go on with your story.
So after you left,
after I left there,
after selling the drugs or the substances,
and went towards trying to go home. Before I get to Ben Hill, I don't know, it's about a quarter of a mile. Some people stopped me and stuff and told me that there was a little girl missing, that they had Ben Hill shut down and stuff. Reason they supposedly stopped me in case I had drugs or whatever on me. They said they didn't want me to get in trouble or whatever. But I knew that somebody was missing before I got to Ben Hill. I can't remember if they told me it was Summer or who at that point. But when I get to Ben Hill and I pull up to Ben Hill, the first one that I see is George Bernard.
Oh, George Bernard was on Ben Hill Road?
Yes.
Yes. As soon as I pull up to Ben Hill Road, before they would open it up where I could pull into Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek, George was the first one that come up to me and spoke to me because I rolled my window down, and he walked up to the truck and said he thought it was my daughter that went missing.
Oh, how nice of him. So he was just standing out on Ben Hill Road, or was he standing at the bottom of Don's and Candace's driveway?
Standing at the stop sign at Ben Hill and Beach Creek.
Oh, so he could control the traffic in the story going in and out of there? Why was he standing there?
Yeah, I mean, he could, yes.
And well, that was the first time he had seen him there in 20 years.
20 years. I hadn't seen George down there since I was just little.
So Andy Bernard's dad, George, is down there managing the traffic in and out of Ben Hill Road during Summer's disappearance. Okay.
Because he was the first person that talked to me when I pulled up to Ben Hill Road before they opened the road up where I could pull onto it.
So he is the person who stopped you and alerted you that there was a missing child. Is that right, Fred? Or was it somebody else?
Well, no, down the road when he was stopped, it was a different person, like a quarter mile down the road. It was a different,
Yeah.
There was a, I don't know if you want to put their name out there, but they stopped him and just let him know, hey, there's police up there and you're having drugs on you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Then when he gets up to Ben Hill, he sees George up there, and then George tells him. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why did George say he was there?
He didn't say why he was there.
He just happened to be there for the first time in 20 years?
I guess. Only words we had said to each other was when I pulled up to it and I rolled my window down and just sitting there, and he walks over to me and said that he thought it was my child that had went missing. And then I can't remember what else was said. They wasn't much said between me and him before they opened the road up.
Did he tell you if Andy called him or what?
No, he didn't say nothing like that. He didn't even mention Andy or nobody.
He pretended did he acknowledge that he now knew at the time he was talking to you that it was actually Donna and Candace's child that was missing?
He didn't say.
Mm-mm.
The only thing he told me is he said he thought it was my child.
And do you have a child?
Yeah, I've got kids. Yeah,
but no, they weren't living there at that time.
They weren't living there. No, they was in.
And they're not small kids. I mean,
it almost sounds like a threat to me in a way.
Yeah, it does.
It's creepy.
It seems like a distancing thing. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, pretending not to have knowledge. So, Fred, did you get kind of a creepy feeling when you talked to him?
Like, did you get a creepy feeling at that?
Well, I just felt I was trying to figure out why he was there and hadn't seen him in a long time down there. I hadn't actually seen George on Ben Hill since he had taken him and Polly had got married and stuff and moved from 125 to off the creek.
So that was like around 2000 or 2005 they got married or something.
They would have been married before.
It doesn't really matter when, but you're saying in 20 years you've never seen him up in the hollow there.
80s, so you hadn't seen him out there since the 80s?
Yeah, not on Ben Hill.
Not
so just did, Summer went missing, so he happens to be there, and he doesn't say why he's there. Is he appearing to help?
There was a lot of people that were there though that came there. Was there other people there too?
There's a lot of people around there, but he was the only one that talked to me at first.
But there was a lot of people standing around though.
Oh yeah, they had the whole holler shut down and stuff up through there. There's vehicles parked like.
It's still weird that he was there though. It still is strange that he was there like right then. Like, you know, somebody had to notify him or it's weird that he was there. So
yeah, I was just trying to figure out how he even knew about it before, you know.
For me, this is feeling kind of full circle in a way, Donna, because you and I for years have talked about this stuff and you've always been very consistent that there was something relating to like a Lone Star, and you describe this person, and then we find out he happens to be a person that hadn't been there in 20 years, and he's on the road that very day.
And that's my first time hearing that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's blowing.
That's why I've been trying to, but this is happening in divine timing. You know, I know that I'm glad that we're finally now talking and stuff. It's happening when it's supposed to happen. But that's really why I wanted you and Fred to talk, Donna and Fred to talk, because I knew that you guys were going to be able to put pieces together. You know,
absolutely, yeah, unbelievable.
I got chills. Fred's going to be able to solve this. Okay, so who else did what else was going on? So you drive in, you have this interaction with George Bernard. Are all these other people searching, or what, are they just standing there?
The law enforcement was already there and stuff at that time, and done had the holler shut down when I pulled up to Ben Hill Road.
So they only let people in that had identification, or what were they doing there?
Yeah, they wouldn't let nobody go in a vehicle unless you lived on that road.
But they ended up letting you in, though, right?
Yeah, they let me in pretty quick. I was actually just going to leave the truck and my trailer sitting along the side of the road right there before you get to Don and them's driveway. There's kind of a little field down through there, and I'd actually pulled over right there and was just going to leave a truck sitting there, keep from bothering them, just walk on in. And they're like, no, we done got people moving the vehicle so you can get in.
So
But
then you
when I
go
pulled-
in, and did you stop at
Yeah.
Don and Candace's and offer to help, or what happened next?
No, they already had the dogs and all that there at that time.
Okay, the police did. The police had
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah, they
And
done had 2 dogs there searching when I pulled on to Ben Hill.
So did you just go home then?
Yeah. Yeah, I just went home.
And then
But it
when next did you hear anything related? Did you hear it in the evening, more information, or the next day, or what?
That Don come to my house almost immediately that evening after I got home and stuff. And I don't know why they even allowed him to leave his premises. You would thought they had kept him there. But he'd come to my house talking around and stuff.
What
And
time?
then,
What time was that, Fred, that he came over?
I'm trying to think.
Was it still light out?
It was still light out when that happened, when Dawn come up there.
Okay.
When that was the night she went missing, Don?
Yeah.
Canada?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And what did he
They-
say?
police-
What did Don Wells say?
He was talking about when he pulled up and stuff, he didn't act upset, no nothing, just like there wasn't nothing going on or nothing. But he's talking about at least he see her during the resurrection, and then I was just trying to think.
Yeah,
some
on the
other
night
stuff.
of, the
Yeah.
evening of, talking about the resurrection.
And he was talking.
Oh, he
about
was
the
Don Wells was
Romans.
talking about the resurrection.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Romans, something about the Romans being the richest people in the world, and
That
it
is
was just
insane.
weird. He never talked religion or nothing like that before.
Oh my gosh.
And then that's
So that
why
was not a character for Don Wells to talk about religion. You've never heard him talk like that.
No, I
So
never
he
heard
didn't,
him
and he
talk.
didn't seem upset that his daughter was missing.
No, I mean,
What
not
the
one
hell?
first time when he was there that first evening, did he
One
say
second.
he wished he knew Summer was okay, or wish they could find her or nothing. He never. I
He
don't
didn't
know,
even mention her barely.
he had no emotions, period, that evening.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. This is
That's
unreal.
what
He
was-
didn't
what
ask
stuck
to
out
search
so
her
much
property
to
or
me.
anything. Did
Huh?
Don ask to search her property? Was he looking for her? Like, why?
No, he never did search nothing or even insinuate searching anything.
Did he just want drugs, or what? What do you think he came there for?
I don't know why he actually come up there, to be honest. I
Isn't that
kind of felt like he come to see what maybe I had seen or whatever, because
Oh.
before before Summer had went missing and stuff, me and Dawn may have spoke maybe 15 times or something other, had communication.
Yeah.
But it seemed like after Summer went missing, it was like you couldn't get rid of him. He was almost like he was hanging around. He'd always come in every little bit and ask them what I'd have told the law enforcement, if I'd remember anything else that I taught could tell them, or it was almost like he was trying to find out what I was just telling the law enforcement, was what seemed like what it was.
So he was gathering information.
Checking
Yeah.
his history.
did you tell him about how I had to step away for a second, but did you tell him about how law enforcement asked you to how that all happened?
Yeah, on the first evening after Dawn had left, the law enforcement came immediately, and we was talking and stuff, and then they was real. They wanted me wire, or it wasn't a wire, it was a digital recorder, and try to record some people and stuff that was hanging around, but
Do you want to tell that story? That's kind of funny
Yeah,
about how
please.
they wanted you to bring alcohol there.
well, that was on the 17th that they wanted to take
Oh,
it
that
out.
was later. Oh, so at first when it happened a day later, they wanted you to go up there with an audio recorder and see what Don Wells was saying.
The day of.
The day of,
day
they wanted me to, they wanted me just to go and hang around down there wherever people was gathered up talking to see what could be got on recording. That's when I was recording Jody and Andy and Jody's daughter some, and
So
got
Jody
Dawn a
Sue,
little bit, and then Damien. The only thing Damien said, asked Jody where she wanted the camera put up. That's the only words I got out of him.
so what did Jody and what did Jody and Andy say about all this? When you were
They just was talking amongst us.
And Lauren was asking also about what camera. They didn't about what camera Damien was talking about.
Oh, the evening of Summer going missing is when Jody had Damien to put that camera up on their driveway.
And that was done while you were recording.
Yeah, I was recording then.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then after he put the camera and stuff up, that's when Don had come back in the hollow and pulled in his driveway, and he got out and walked up to Andy and handed Andy out money.
Oh.
he walked up to Andy and did what?
Handed him some money that was folded up. I couldn't tell how much or nothing, but there was a money exchange. And
Oh, jeez.
him and Andy.
And he admitted it too on my live. I even asked him. I asked him what that money
He tried to
was.
say it was for weed that Don owed him.
He
for
goes,
weed.
yeah. He tried to say it must have been for weed, but he tried to act like he couldn't remember for the longest time. And
Fred,
But-
how much money did it look like? Was it a big wad or a little wad of money?
Well, he was just folded up. I mean,
Okay.
it didn't look like a whole lot of money.
Okay.
No.
If you have $100 bills, 10,000 looks like almost nothing.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
if you have $5 bills, and then it matters if they're straight from the bank or not.
Yeah.
And
True.
so how was Jody Sue's demeanor?
yeah, what were they talking about?
I can't really remember everything that we had talked about.
But
that
Did
evening.
you feel suspicious of Andy or Damien at that time? Did you feel like Andy might have had something to do with all this at that time?
At that time, I didn't really. I mean, I just figured that they was just standing down there, maybe at the bottom of the driveway, just hanging out down there, trying to figure out what had happened or whatever. But after the third day, them standing down there and didn't hanging out at the bottom of the driveway and stuff, it become kind of a concern to me, you know.
plus, he knew he was on the road. But at the time, he's allowed to be on the road. It wasn't a big deal at first, really.
No.
Except you knew. Did you know though on the 15th that he was denying being on the road? Had you heard law enforcement say that?
No, I didn't know that until the next day.
So Andy denied to law enforcement that he had went back up into the hollow that day.
Yes.
Well,
So-
yeah, he tried to act like he forgot or something, didn't he? Or what?
He let on like he didn't.
Yeah, and
know
how do you
why he
forget
was on
that?
the road that day and stuff, way he lied to the law enforcement. And then,
So Andy Bernard lied to law enforcement and told them he wasn't back up in the hollow.
yeah, and then reason I give them my footage and stuff from my cameras is because they came with the footage from the Thompson's camera and asked them to identify certain vehicles and people, if I knew this person or that person on camera. And then I'm like, well, I've got cameras too if you need them. That's what made me turn mine over.
Okay.
And they showed you the Thompson's footage and asked you to identify vehicles.
Yeah, they asked many people on Ben Hill Road to identify people.
And on the Thompson's camera, did they catch Andy Bernard's vehicle?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they knew he lied on the second day. They knew that this guy's already lying to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
that's what I'm saying. It's like people don't realize that law enforcement, and that's what.
And
That's
this is
why.
who Ryan Finds Truth is promoting as the arbiter
yeah.
of truth is Andy
Oh.
Bernard. This pisses me off. It pisses me
know.
off. I'm just
I know, it
saying.
pisses
I just
me
put
off.
it out there.
I tried, so I don't know. I don't understand it at all.
But yeah, they was laughing about Andy talking about whether he was talking to me. They was laughing amongst themselves because they had asked Andy and he had lied to him and said no, he had what, he told him he couldn't remember what he had drove that day. and stuff. And then that's when
Well,
they,
in 24 hours, you can't remember what car you drove the day before.
Right.
Okay, Andy.
and then they was laughing about they had showed him the picture of him on the road from Thompson's camera to refresh his memory.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Within
wow,
24 hours, dude can't remember what he was driving and denied being on the road until they showed him a video of him being on the road.
And that's why he's like,
For clearing that up.
And
It's
there's footage out there. There could
Yeah.
be somebody could just put it out, but see, everybody's scared of like. Fred's was all his stuff was stolen when he was in jail. Everything, all his electronics, everything. His sister sold and stole everything. We don't know. So that's been since summer of 2023. And he hasn't been back there, so that he wasn't expecting to go to jail and all that, and all his stuff stolen and gone. So there's no way to try to find those freaking thumb drives to get that footage.
But at least
but you know what? It's believable, anyways. Okay, so the cops are at your house, and you tell them you have a video camera too that they can have.
Yeah, I had 5 different cameras up and down the hollow.
Really?
I was using them for surveillance because of my drug, me running drugs and stuff, and
you definitely need security.
Out if a law was getting hot on me or whatnot. I mean, I'm just being straight up honest.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nothing to be ashamed of. It just, it is what it is.
And see, that's what comes. That's why it's so suspicious with these other ones, with like Andy being so, not for, like we're coming with information. Like, I don't know. It's like a missing child is kind of more important than if selling a little bit of drugs or whatever.
Weed or
I don't
cocaine.
know.
No judgment. Okay, so the cops come to your house, and then what? Is that when they wanted you to bring the alcohol to the wells and try to record them again?
Well, that happened on the 17th, but I went down after. Well, see, they done on the 15th. They done know that Don had tried to trade his first son for drugs.
Oh, the police already knew that?
Yeah, the police already knew that.
He tried to know that the father of Summer Wells, if people don't know this story, the father of Summer Wells had already tried to sell another child for drug money.
When he was new, right? He was
that was one of the main things that they was wanting me to try to hit on Don with, is try to talk and try to see who he had owed or whatever.
Because they already
suspected him owing somebody.
Oh, which like kind of the payments, Andy.
Oh my God.
Which is interesting that they knew already about Don's history with his son, because if you guys remember how that played out on YouTube, Mary and them were the ones supposedly that let police know, but that on the 15th they already knew. Knew.
So there had to be some kind of
insider.
Yeah, they must
have in a database or something of it.
It must be in the database. They must have a record of it, because I doubt that they talked to Mary on the 15th. That the day.
No, there's other people. Anybody who knew might have called them and told them. Like he already tried to sell a different kid, or he already tried to sell or did sell a different kid or whatever.
Wow.
And we have the mother who is smashed from a previous relationship. She had 2 kids that were in their early 20s at the time this happened, that she didn't have contact with. And one of them, she smashed his head in so bad that even at age 22, he had to live in a group home from the severe brain damage caused by Candace Wells.
That's
so
right.
People should know that as well. That's a fact. That's not gossip. That's truth.
Yeah. I can't believe it, but I haven't thought about that in a long time. You're right, Donna. And how old was the kid? Do we know when this happened?
I think 2 years old or something like that.
Oh,
2 years old. She smashed his head in, and then so the CPS or whatever took that kid and a girl, and so Candace never had contact with those kids again, and then people tracked them down because of this case, and the boy still had brain damage so severe he had to live in a group home. And he was 22, if I'm right. And the girl said she had not had any contact with Candace since.
Right. Okay, I'm remembering that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so then what? Then what happened, Fred?
Let's see. Where were you at?
Yeah, I think
We
we
were
was
at Andy Bernard caught lying about being up in the hollow until he was proven wrong by video.
Let's see. Oh, we were talking about the alcohol. Also, the alcohol. How you got to that alcohol, or when
well,
they
that was on the
17.
17th, evening of the 17th, when the alcohol, when they came and wanted me to go and try to record Dawn and Candace specifically.
Oh, and that's the same night you heard the laugh over the recording
Yeah.
too. That's a whole
Yeah, I
other
went
weird
there
thing.
just a minute. When
Okay, tell us all about it.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, they had came and wanted me to take some alcohol to the Wellses, and I told them, well, that can be weird because I've never partied with them or nothing. Never exchanged no kind of drugs or nothing with them. And I said, well, if I take alcohol, it's going to make it kind of
Suspicious.
weird if I take alcohol to them. Then they're like, well, we'll take it to them and wait 45 minutes and walk down there and record them, try to see what you can get. Well, when I walked down there, Candace was outside on the cell phone. Dawn wasn't there when I first walked up. And it's almost immediately, though, he had pulled up like a minute later or something. And she went inside, and because the only thing she said is he wasn't here. And I said, well, okay. And about that time, Dawn pulls up as I started to leave, and she goes on inside, and then me and Dawn stand there talking just a minute, and then there's like a light comes over the recording device, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought the law enforcement had done something to, and it kind of
Made you think they set you up or something?
set me up or something.
Like law
And
enforcement.
I tried to play it off to Dawn like it was my phone in my pocket.
Shit.
And
So
then I just shut it.
Yeah, it was audible.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I pretty much
Did they find out? Did they figure out that you were wearing the recorder device?
No, Dawn and them didn't know.
Okay.
But right when that happened, you kind of made an excuse.
Happened, I just kind of shut it down, and I just started back off the hill because I was kind of upset, pissed at the time, because I thought the law enforcement had done something to let them maybe know that I was recording him or something.
Yeah.
When I started back off of Dawn's driveway, they had started up the driveway to try to see what was going on.
Because law enforcement
did. Listening.
The cops did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were listening live.
See, I just want to tell this funny little thing. And to confirm with both of you, just a yes or no, I did send both of you a bunch of screenshots of an ongoing conversation I had with Don Wells for a 2-month period. Well, I just acknowledge I sent you a bunch of screenshots proving that I did have an ongoing conversation with Don Wells.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason that's important is because Don Wells was going around telling people it wasn't true, and then they were trying to discredit me by saying I was lying. So it is true. For a 2-month period, me and Don Wells, there's probably like 120 texts or more, and also a couple of long phone calls. And in that one, the thing that was just kind of funny, in the midst of the tragedy, was Don Wells was sitting there telling me that he thought law enforcement was involved because they came over and brought Candace some alcohol. Like, so Don Wells saw it as a celebration, like, oh, here, like they looked unfavorably at her. So then later, just a couple of weeks ago, Fred Hill tells me that story, and I put 2 and 2 together, what they were both talking about.
Yeah, see, they actually went to take it to both of them, and Dawn happened to not be there when they got there and left it.
That's a weird thing to bring over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they weren't allowed to be. I mean,
the 2 officers that done it, they wasn't allowed back up there after that. They weren't allowed back around on the hill.
So that was kind of a faux pas idea that bringing alcohol to them.
And that's the 2 officers that Fred worked with. So it makes you wonder. I don't know if that screwed up anything. I don't know.
It's probably not legal, or maybe it's just not considered part of what they're supposed to do or something.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know their protocols though.
Right. Okay, Fred. So after the alcohol sting, what's the next memory you have involving Don, Candace, the whole disappearance of Summer Wells? Or
I'll be right
you? Yeah.
I'm trying to figure. After the alcohol,
Yeah. What did you?
well, I never talked to Candace. The only time I talked to Candace, period, from way before Summer ever went missing up to the 17th was just that when I went up there and they gave her that alcohol and I tried to record her and she just said that Dawn wasn't there and stuff at the time. That's the only time I talked to her and last time I talked to her.
But what else, like, what else
Or
did law
Candace.
enforcement, well, what else did law enforcement have you do? Like, I mean, because it was more than just recording.
Oh, yeah. We rode around a lot of different locations and stuff. Me and law enforcement did that. Anywhere I thought that of empty places that they may could have hit her or anything, and wells, septic tanks, septic systems, different locations of property and stuff that they didn't even know. See, they didn't even know that Dawn even owned that where the shed is on Beach Creek.
Yeah, he didn't even tell him that. Like,
When Summer first went missing and stuff.
how many hours was it after Summer went missing that they found out that?
Well, it was about same time they come up there and was talking to me about recording and stuff is when I asked them had they searched that down there good and stuff. But we talked about the wells and stuff that was on the property and stuff down there. And they're like, they didn't even know that Dawn owned that piece of property.
What's that kind of shed called?
What's that kind of shed called?
Is it just a shed or?
Yeah, it's just a shed off of Beach Creek. It's straight across from Simpson Loop.
That's so that same shed that
you take them all over and show them Ben Hill, the whole hollow up there.
Yeah, and see, supposedly Dawn told on YouTube that that's the first place that he went when he came in to look for Summer. Was he drove straight to the shed, but that's what he told me when on the first evening he talked about when he took and come on to Ben Hill and went up to his house. He said he could see off where they had took and cleaned the power lines out. He said he could see off there towards the shed and seen the boys down there. So he went off that back side in the Subaru to the shed that way.
Yeah, because there's supposedly a back drive, like you could drive straight to that shed through the woods, which I never knew that. But
which Cam and Allie is one that walked down that trail.
But you can see that shed from the road, can't you? From the main road or something?
Yeah, it's right on the main road.
Okay. And so if you go, did you take the cops back in, way back in the hollow, and then passing by this guy John Smith? Did you take them back there, and did they drive around up where those barns are and stuff like that?
Well, I don't know how much they actually searched right through there, but see, I live beyond that myself. So
you live past the barns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the barn that me and you had talked about is about middle ways in between my place and Don Wells's place.
That's John Smith's barn.
And it's right. And it's right across the street from where John Smith's property would be.
So it's across from John Smith's property, and John Smith is now dead.
Yeah.
So if people are listening, then they haven't heard my readings. I was saying that where I saw the transfer take place of Summer Wells was in front or just inside a barn, and one of a person that just was standing there, so it wasn't the person dropping her off or receiving her, had a hunchback. So that was a clue as to whose barn and where.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which John Smith, well, yeah.
Which John Smith's wife has a hunchback.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's very manly.
Yeah, she's got real short hair, like man cut.
She chews even tobacco. Like she's manly.
So kind of butchy.
Big. She's really big.
So we got two potentials. One is what they're saying, but then the other one, there's another hunchback guy that did the other hunchback guy that's now dead? Is his last name Gout or something like that?
Got is his last name. Yeah.
So there's another hunchback guy named Gott. And did he live up in the hollow?
No, he actually was staying where I had stopped try to sell something that day on Long Star before I came to Ben Hill.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
God.
that.
He was one of them that wasn't there.
Yeah, he's that one that wasn't there. Remember that
Yeah.
that was supposed to be there, that should have been there, or usually
One of
was
the
there.
two. Yeah, one of the two you named. Yeah.
So,
He was
so
missing along.
Doug Gott normally would have been hanging out at the place on Lone Star,
Yeah.
but he was missing that day, and he had a hunchback.
Yeah.
And he had a hunchback, and he's now dead.
Yeah.
And someone with a hunchback was present from the transfer. So one person who has Summer, who's gonna get rid of her, meets somebody at the barn. There's a person at the barn that helps identify the barn because the person has a hunchback, not directly in the thing, but is standing there witnessing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they put Summer in a vehicle in the trunk, bound and gagged and drugged. And so Gott was living over at the hangout on Lone Star at that time, and he was missing that day. Is that correct? What you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
and did he hang around with?
And he wasn't there when I took and stopped that day. That him or another person that should have been there.
And they're both dead now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I know.
Pete Clark and Doug
Pete
Gott,
Clark is definitely, his name's definitely came up a lot in this case.
And they're both dead. We need pictures of these guys. Doug he sent me a picture of the Doug Gott guy. And so did Doug Gott do handyman work at different barns around town or what?
He hang out some at that one barn off of Stardust or Starlight or whatever it is. Starlight, I think it is. It's off of Stardust.
Okay, so Gott, or whatever Doug Gott used to hang out at a barn off of Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually off
that barn
on Starlight, right? Starlight, which is it's off of Stardust.
Yeah.
who owns the barn off of Stardust?
He's a Crawford.
Crawford owns the barn off of Stardust?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, so these are potential places. We don't know the exact place. We don't know if the hunchback that was present was because it was at the trade-off happened at in this barn on Stardust, or if it happened at a barn up at Ben Hill. We don't know that, but we know we've pretty much narrowed it down to just actually 3 locations, 2 or 3.
I mean, there's not very many, people that have hunchbacks, really.
No,
I'm trying to think of
that's the
my town.
only
I can't
two
even think of anybody I know who
that-
has hunchbacks. So,
Rare.
it's
I mean, that's only 2 I know of in that area at all that's got a hunchback.
Okay, so we have just narrowed down the place where Summer Wells was transferred to one of. Is there 2 or is because then one time when I asked you and I said, well, has Doug Gott ever hang out up in the holler? You said, well, if he did, it would be at another guy's barn. I don't know if you want to say it.
Yeah, he would hang out at David Bass's property a lot.
And where's that at?
that's not Ben Hill.
On right beside John Smith's.
Oh, okay. So both of the barns are across the street, or is that the same barn that we're talking about? The one across from John Smith belonged to David Bays.
No.
No,
It's 2 separate barns.
Yeah.
It's 2 different. See, there's no barn at David Bass's at all.
Oh, okay. Then it's not there. It didn't happen there.
But it's right across the street
It's
from
right
that, pretty
across the
much.
street,
Because it's right next to John Smith. Remember, the barn off Ben Hill is right across from John Smith's, which right next to John Smith is David Bay's property. So it's pretty much right across the street too.
I mean, it's all real confined.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could be either one. So it could be the most likely where Summer Wells was handed off was either across the street from John Smith, who's now dead, or this place on Stardust Road.
Yeah.
Where the Doug Gott, who is also now dead.
And Doug also had ties to, even though he had ties to that Light property or Stardust property, he also hung out not at that barn area, but he did hang out on Ben Hill Road, right next to John Smith. So,
oh my God, I got chills all over my body when you said that, Ziggy.
yeah. So, that's the two, I hate calling them hunchbacks, but that's the two hunchbacks, that would be right next to each other. John Smith, his wife, and then Doug would hang out with the neighbor, at the neighbor's place right next door, but which is across the street from that barn, and one of the barn on Ben Hill, but there's also that barn. It's so confusing.
Yeah, it is.
It's not confusing, not at all. There's one barn up in Ben Hill. There's one on Sardis. It's one of the two, and almost 100% for sure. Like, let's put it at 99% for sure. It's one or the other, and so John Smith is now dead, who lived across the street.
Now, the one on Ben Hill, now I don't really think much of the footprints, but that's where wasn't that some of the footprints found on that property?
Well, the back
end up
corner of his property joining somebody else's property where supposedly a footprint was found.
And that's the same property as the barn.
Yeah, see where his barn is here on Ben Hill. See, they told them people not to be out on the property and stuff, which was strange because they was trying to encourage everybody to get out and search the property. But Goldie's wife at the time was trying to take the wells of some food and stuff. And when she got down there, they told her to bring it to Dawn at my driveway because Dawn was they know exactly where Dawn was most of the time. Because he was hanging out up there a lot after someone went missing. So she come up there to drop the food off, and she was talking to Dawn and stuff, and she said that they finally give them a green light to get back out on their property, which was strange to me because they had encouraged everybody to get out and search their property. But why would they tell them to not be out on the property?
And that's the property that has a barn.
Yeah, same property that's got the barn.
Is that the one barn across from John and Alyssa's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the police actually forbid people from going on that property. So the police must have had an idea that
but for some reason they didn't want them out on that property, which was strange to Fred because they weren't telling anybody else that.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense why that they didn't want them out on their property because she's like, they finally give us a green light that we can get back out on their property and stuff. And I'm like thinking, why they give you a green light to get back out on your property? They've never told nobody else not to get out on the property as I know of.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that is, I'm kind of curious about that proper area too. That'd be like the perfect area, honestly, because it's like, well, not really. It'd be perfect as far as seclusion, but.
Question for you guys. Can we go real quickly again through the names of everybody who's died, please, for the person who's going to listen to this?
Well, gosh, okay.
If that's okay.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can.
I remember Roy Cotton.
Yeah, Roy Cotton, obvious. Cotton, Simpson, Jose.
Yes.
Let's see.
Doug, Pete Clark.
Yeah, Doug got Pete Clark. There's tons. Of course, now we're on spot. Like
this is all since Summer vanished, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Smith.
Yeah, John Smith.
The guy across the street from the barn is dead too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Pause. What did John Smith die of? Do we know?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what John Smith passed away from.
Supposedly a heart attack, what I was told.
It's so easy to kill people. This is what they do. They use needles. They give each other hot shots. That's literally how they assassinate each other because nobody questions it. It's just like an overdose or something.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Makes sense.
That is what they do. They do give. I mean, yeah.
What about? Do we know? Excuse me. Do we know how Doug died?
Supposedly stroke. What I was told.
Okay.
I feel
What
like
about-
it was something else.
right. What about Pete? How did Pete die? Do we know?
Was it OD?
I think it was either OD or a heart attack.
Okay. Okay.
And if you doubled or tripled somebody's high
Shot.
frequency,
Yeah, it could be a heart attack.
that could make someone have a heart attack or stroke if that was the actual reason. Anyway, we don't see the
I
death
mean,
certificate.
as far as Pete, I think somebody else got him that where he had caused them to go to prison for a long time. I know that they was trying to get rid of him. So
Roy Cotton.
Yeah, he was heavily in the drug game. Heavily.
Gotcha. Okay, now I have a question. Going back to the camera that Jody Sue has Damien put up on the house. That's kind of odd to me. Do you think that suggests that she had the the camera taken down for a period of time, or were they just putting it up for the first time?
my opinion was see where she had him to put it was at the bottom of the driveway. He was like the first big pine on the right hand side is probably 50 foot up the driveway on the right hand side was where she had him to put it. It was like a trail cam.
Okay.
She claimed that they had cameras from the day of, but that's not true. I don't know why she's trying to say that, or like she's trying to say that.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, I don't know if they
Jody?
had cameras at top the hill or whatever, but I know at the bottom they was putting that one up on the 15th. Damien was, because he was asking Jody where she wanted it put up.
Wow, that's weird. Okay.
And then 3 days later, Andy and Jody move, or what happened? They all packed up and moved real fast, or what?
No, that's Andy had left the holler and stuff, but
Oh, so Andy left Jody 3 days after Summer went missing?
Yeah.
Did Andy leave Jody just a couple days after Summer went missing? Andy decides he's moving out of there.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened? He supposedly went off to. So tell him that story about that. How you saw Andy 21 days, or it was 20 some days after Summer went missing, and
well, it was after Summer went missing stuff. Seemed like Zoomers is where you run into everybody.
Yeah.
But I'd run into him there again. It was, and he talked about being gone out of town for 21 days at that point, and he just got back in town, and he said he'd been out of town 21 days. That's what he said himself. He said, I've been out of town 21 days. He said, I'm just getting back in town. He said, he talked about being running a train ride, and I thought he said Ripley's in Sevierville.
So he went to go work at a carnival or a fair after Summer went missing?
Yeah, train ride. He said train ride, but now he'll try to say, he tries to downplay how long he was. For some reason, that whole thing, he'll try to sanitize it, but he won't say, for some reason, he won't say 21 days. He'll try to say it was like a few. He tried to downplay it for some reason.
He's sanitizing history.
Days, but
yeah,
he don't know if it was before summer or after summer or something.
So to me, for some period of time, Andy held this story that the day this happened, he was working all day at a tire store and continued to work at a tire store. And only when it came out that he was actually working at a carnival or a fairground or this train ride, then he admitted it. Is that correct?
Well, he never went back to go work for Hayworth, as far as I know. That's what's confusing. Is like, did he ever go back? Why was the day that Summer went missing the last day that you worked for this place? That's
or did he work there that day at all? Because if he was at
he was at work, and his boss says that supposedly says he was at work, but we don't, doesn't mean he didn't leave part of the day and a few hours. Nobody.
And Don left his work for an hour or two, correct? They all left early.
I think that he supposedly left for a lunch like around 2:30 or something like that. Don did or something, according to Dudley, I think.
Yeah.
So a couple days after Summer goes missing, Andy decides he's going to go work for a train ride. Is that what you're saying? And
then they start getting, I don't know what happens. It wasn't until I think July, when she gets a protective order against Andy. Then Andy's son gets a protective order against Andy as well. And like a month or two after Summer goes missing, his son, like their whole family falls apart right after Summer goes missing. And it seems it's very strange.
The land transfer and stuff too.
Yeah, they transfer the land over at the Fields Road property to that
a trust fund.
And
did Andy ever go back and live there after that, or did he just move somewhere else?
No. He never went back to.
Not as I know of.
He didn't go back and live there. He left like 2 or 3 days after Summer went missing and didn't come back. And he went to work.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, the last time I seen Andy on Ben Hill, he was putting a black and white pit bull in the back of the Kia, and I think that was on the evening of the 18th. I think last time I ever seen him on Ben Hill.
And does Jody Sue live there where she does her live streams from? Does she still live up there or no?
No, she don't live on Ben Hill. She lives in Kingsville.
I think it was around August or September of 2021 that she finally moved out, or she moved out to her I think it's her mother's place or whatever over on Reservoir. Well, it doesn't matter specifically where. I know she's going to freaking anyways.
Right.
She's not staying in the house. She stays in a RV on the property.
Okay.
And I don't listen to her, but I don't get it because a couple times I clicked, and does she alternate between blaming Andy and then saying he's and attacking people who blame Andy?
Yeah. She does. She goes back and forth from basically my whole theory with that is that she's got, because the only time that she'll defend Andy is when it comes to anything to do with Summer Wells or about him being on the road that day. She'll say he was not on the road and he did not have anything to do with Summer Wells. Or like she says, yes, he's a monster, a horrible person, but he was not on the road and he didn't have anything to do with Summer Wells,
So weird. That is so weird. Oh my gosh. Okay. Question.
I think it's because her, she's trying. Think about it. Like their son, a month or two after Summer goes missing, like also takes a protective order out against him. Like, why was throwing his son into it? Did he get his son involved in something? Did Andy get his son involved in something and cause a big family fight? And they,
why was his son afraid of him? Why?
Yeah, he went to the military.
Right. He went into the military. I remember. Okay. I have a question before we get too far from it. Fred, when you see Andy and he says he's been gone for 21 days, approximately when was that?
21 days after, it'd be mid-August.
Yeah, he was around the end of August or something, I guess.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. So he dips out a few days after. He dips out a few days after Summer finishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He took off a few days after Summer went. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Last time I seen him was the 18th
of June,
and that's supposedly when he took off and started staying in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or wherever, Sevierville.
Do you know the name of the place where this train ride was?
I thought he said Ripley's. Best I remember him saying.
Ripley's came up in my readings, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, Donna.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, I know it did. I know. I remember that part for sure.
I'll be right back.
That's what was really, and then those pictures of them at Gatlinburg,
a week before,
which that's a whole other thing that Dawn tried to hide that really did happen for some reason. She I don't know.
We were just looking up a few days ago about who was supposed to have been taking in pictures of Summer down there at Gatlinburg.
Yeah, because there's that guy in the background.
Hold on. Repeat what you guys just talked about. Who was taking pictures? Are you associating this with Donna's reading or something outside of the reading?
Well, there's that picture of Summer. It has to do with, yeah, it's in reference to Summer, or to Donna's reading too. But there's a picture, you know, that picture of the steamboat in the background, and there's
and it's upside down buildings. Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah.
Which is
there's a guy in that photo who seems to be, you know, focused on Summer and in the background. And Donna was always suspicious of that person because that's who we were talking
about. A name or something,
but we don't.
I couldn't think.
We don't know who it is.
About a certain person taking pictures, wasn't it? Of Summer.
I don't know.
Well, this is so fascinating because I remember when Donna first did a reading on this case, and she's trying to explain these upside down things she's seeing, and then to find a picture that perfectly correlates with that was just exploding of the mind, you know, crazy. But that's how Donna's readings are. It's almost like she's a fly on the wall witnessing this stuff. And anybody who wants to, you know, debate that, have at it. But just go listen to Tylee and JJ reading the first one, and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep.
This is an interesting discussion, guys. How are you guys doing with time? Do you have to go now? Do we need to do a part 2, or do you want to keep going?
Is there a way to? I think, can we pause for like 10 minutes? Is there a way to pause it? I think we can pause it.
You can talk while they pause. I just need to.
We're back. We took a little break. So carry on about Donna.
So what we were talking about was, so there were several readings I never uploaded, and when Ziggy contacted me a few weeks ago, she was saying, well, I think if you and Fred got together, put your heads together, you'd be able to identify some of these people. And so that's when I told Fred about this handoff at the barn, which I had mentioned in an earlier reading. But if you follow my work, you know that each subsequent reading gets more and more detailed. Oh, yeah. And so then I also said, okay, well, I also have a little more description of the killer here as well. And he has a stammer. A stammer is different than a stutter, but it's similar to a stutter. But in a stammer, it's a tendency to repeat the first letter of each word or of multiple words. Like, we went to boat fishing, like that. He has that kind of thing. And Fred recognized right away. But we're not going to say any names where we're directly accusing somebody because they could be innocent. So,
right. And
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and you said that a lot of the Bernards have the stammer. Yeah. But there was one in particular that, yeah, he did notice, or that he thought possibly, you know, but also a lot of people, when they go on meth, they get that stammer too. You know that.
Nah, I don't think so, because you know what? I lived next door to a meth house for 25 years, and I never heard anyone stammer. Okay. Not a single fucking person. I'm just like, no. That is one defining characteristic about the person that I saw do that.
Donna,
and he had a stammer.
Donna, can you further describe this person? I remember you saying he was a little bit heavy set.
No, he was thin. No, he was thin.
He was thin. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm remembering that wrong. Okay, but there was multiple guys.
Yeah, there was the person wearing the costume. That was the person that had the stammer. The person that had the stammer was more thin built, on the thin built side, or normal to thin. Maybe not super thin, but you know, he was not fat, because people kept asking me that. And then there was the photographer, who I had felt had actually, I don't know if it was that photographer, but I felt that there was photography of Summer going on before this even happened. And then there was the money guy, the Darren character. He was standing against the back wall. That's the one that I tried to go closer to see, and then they blocked me. The spirit guides would not let me see his face. And they can let me see someone's face. They can show me every detail of their face and eyes if they want, but they literally blocked me. My spirit guides blocked me from seeing the guy's face. So I just called him the Darren character. Okay. So that's 3 separate people that put it on. that originally what I was getting in my vision, that they were going to put her in this ring, this trafficking ring, but then it went, her case, they didn't expect anyone to notice, but her case went high profile. So they decided to do what I described in those readings.
Which you stated was, quote, a standard dozier. Right?
No, I stated it was a snuff film.
But I mean,
I use that word. Yeah, I use that word as well.
Have we ever figured out what the heck it means, standard dozier?
There's only a few things. There's a knife company named Dozier Knives. There's the Dozier School for Children in Florida, where a bunch of kids were killed and buried under the dirt. And then in the Urban Slang Dictionary, Dozier comes up as to drug somebody and make them your slave.
Okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
we don't know for sure.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But probably that last one is, if that's what it says in the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
It's like,
seems possible, doesn't it?
And there was a bunch of stuff I said that we tied back to Ripley's Museum. For instance, I was talking about seeing this gum chain. We used to make these gum chains when we were kids in the 60s.
Yeah.
And the world's largest gum chain was on display at Ripley's at that time. So there was like a bunch of things that tied it back to the Ripley's.
Hold on, can we circle back? So Ripley's is potentially where
the Darren character wanted to take some kind of all-American photos of Summer without being with them. And so he was just kind of trailing them, and they knew it, but I mean, it was a set up to do that, but that's what she was brought there for, to show her,
Right.
And so that happened about a week before she went missing. And then I talked to Don Wells on the phone multiple times, actually, and texted with him for 2 straight months. And he told me that the Saturday before Summer went missing, so just like 2 days before Summer went missing, he had the day off work at first. And but Candace said that she wanted to go garage selling. And Dawn said if she wanted to get rid of me, she could say that. She would know that because he hates garage sales, he claimed, and he wouldn't go. And so he said that Saturday, 2 days before Summer went missing, Candace took the kids and went to Kingsport, was all over around Kingsport. Remember, I saw a handoff for money. So there's multiple times. There's the showing, this handoff of money, the handoff of the child, and then what happens to the child. And Dawn said she came home much later than someone would for garage selling. She didn't come home until around 5 p.m., according to Dawn. And then he said that she said, well, she had also taken them fishing. So that was her after the fact excuse. She didn't tell, because if it was only fishing, he probably would have went. That was his story to me. It could be recorded too. I have some things recorded and some things are not.
I mean, I saw that.
I know it's on.
I read the text between you guys. He does talk about that in the text, like between you guys.
Oh, he admitted that he was texting with me now?
No, in the text that I read that you sent me between you guys, he talks about you guys talk about that garage selling thing. And
oh yeah. And at some point I asked him if I was able to, find the answers for you, but it meant that Candace was going to go to prison. Would you want me to do that? Would you want that to happen? And he said no. He would not want the case of Summer Wells to be solved if it meant that Candace had to go to prison.
That's great.
I mean, he flat out was honest about that.
The codependency is unreal between the two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, are you seeing this upside down? Donna, this is just blows my mind, because I remember you just specifically saying this in your reading. You're just saying upside down, blah, 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 upside down.
You're in the building, you're upside, and I never heard of such a place.
Right.
So to actually see it was a trip.
Yeah, that's in Gatlinburg, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not in Kingsport.
No.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
The carousel is there, but so is up at Eastman Recreation Area up there at the top of Bays Mountain, where Eastman owns it, that area or something. And maybe Fred can clarify, but there is a gazebo there, and the water is so clear you can see it. Looks like a mirror reflection.
And that's another thing about the one Bernard.
See, there's one Bernard that works there.
Yeah, there's that one Bernard that works there at that Eastman. Remember?
Recreation.
Who, the one with the stammer works
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
So I went back and forth when I see this carousel, because I call it a carousel, and then I say it's like a gazebo, and I'm like, you could see a mirror image. And I literally, in the photos I sent to Ziggy and Fred, it was a picture of that gazebo up at Eastman Park where the guy with the stammer with the last name Bernard works.
Mm-hmm. And only certain people can get into that area too. Only as long as you have to work at Eastman. So it's like really close. It's not open to the general public.
No. You have to be family of somebody that works at the Eastman Chemical Company.
Okay.
And yeah, the one with the one that Fred, when first mentioned to you that he thought of when you mentioned the stammer, he works there for that park right there, the Eastman Park.
But I don't know about a carousel.
Yeah, and we also don't know if it's him, so we're not accusing him of anything. We're just saying he's related to all these Bernards. They're all related, and this is another one of them, and he does have a stammer, and he does work there. And that was one of the two places where I was trying to think looked like what I saw in my vision as to where someone was given some money.
Yes. And you know what was always odd to me is the dollar amount you said, Donna, which was, I believe you said $50,000. I said
a
snuff film could get you about.
Yeah, but not for Don or Candace.
Right. No, you were being general. Yeah, you were being general about it. But it was interesting because later, when Don referred to this whole money, I can't remember what aspect of it, but he says a dollar amount of 50,000, and it always kind of blew my mind because Don, it was the same dollar amount you said, just nonchalant in your reading, and I always wondered if that meant anything or not.
Oh yeah, I think he definitely tells on himself, like on a lot of this stuff. He probably told us the truth about. I mean, he's talked about. He talks about being in motel rooms where children were traded for drugs and stuff. So, I mean, he's and it makes you want. I mean, some of the stuff that he says makes you wonder: is he telling us, what really did happen? Some stuff, but some stuff like throwing us off.
Right.
So I found on my thing what you were asking about, just a little more description. And mostly it's like, I'm seeing them wearing the costume, the executioner's hood, and then I'm seeing a man with a top hat, and then he puts on a whole show about hurting a little girl. And then I see him stammer. I see him stammer, among other things. That's what I say. If what I see is true, then something is going to need to go to prison. Yeah, it's like at different places where I talk about. It's kind of hard to find, but I'll just put this aside. So, because just to suffice to say, I saw, if my visions are correct, then the final few minutes of her life, the person who ended it had a stammer.
Yeah, and that she suffered immensely.
Horribly. I don't think she was even. If she died, okay. If the visions are right, I think she was moved around first for sure. She was moved to different locations, and she was very abused before her death, extremely horribly abused before her death, to the point where, I literally was having nightmares for days. Yeah. Just having these visions it was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking.
And, Donna, I have to say it, but there's going to be people who are going to poo-poo this because they don't believe in psychic ability and blah, blah, blah. What do you want to say to those people right now who are projecting their garbage onto your ability. Want to say
I don't
something?
even care about them. They mean nothing to me. I literally do not care about them.
Yeah,
I
nothing.
only care. The only thing I care about is seeing somebody go to prison who
Yeah.
harms little children. I care about what God, Jesus says in the Bible about if someone harming a children should have to die with a millstone around their neck. Like it's. I don't care about people stuffing Oreo cookies in their mouth and insulting psychics. I just don't give a flying fuck.
Amen.
We talked about Summer being moved, and Fred also had. There's that incident over at Fields, Fields Road property, which that's another thing too. Andy and Joey didn't mention anything about the Fields Road property at first.
Now, which one is that? Which is the Fields Road property?
That's Andy's
parents.
Andy's parents has another property over on Fields Road, which is like a mile away or something down
About a
Beach.
mile and a half from Ben Hill.
Yeah,
and what happened there?
Well, okay, well, there was disturbed ground found there that Fred. Okay, well, there's a lot to that property. The day of, tell them about the day of that.
Well, the day of, Andy talked about being at that piece of property when I was recording and stuff. That's how we asked if, and I showed them where the property was. And then when they had done, the EquiSearch had done a search down there and stuff, they had found a disturbed ground at that property. And see, this is the same property that Joe or Andy's mom and dad had put in a trust fund shortly after Summer went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's that.
Did they have dogs smell it, like cadaver dogs, that disturbed ground?
I don't know what they had down there, to be honest.
But
maybe they were thinking of making a place and then they made it somewhere else later or something.
I know they quit announcing where they was going to search next and stuff because they thought somebody was trying to stay one step ahead of them.
Sounds like it.
Remember, I saw her buried, and then I saw her buried a second time.
Yeah.
I saw her buried under a building, and then I saw her buried down a ravine later. Like literally, temporarily, they put her in one place, and then till they had time to move her.
Donna, I wonder, and I don't want you to do this because I know it's too much on your psyche, but I wonder if you were to channel this again, if you would see even more. Because I feel like every time you do it, you get more of a clearer vision of what the heck they even did.
Oh yeah, I would for sure, but it would just be too much.
No,
I always know when it's the last reading. Like the last reading with Tylee Ryan, I actually was having chest pains.
Yeah. So
and I was in her body for a minute while she was sliding down and became disoriented, and it was so traumatic for my body. I was having chest pains for a few hours, and it was several days before I could even talk to people on the phone. I was so traumatized and stuff. Mm-hmm. And with Summer, it was even worse. So Summer went on for 8 full days. I couldn't even answer the phone barely. I talked to a couple people, but I only kept repeating what I heard. I mean, I was so tripped out, and so I can't do anymore.
No, I get it. I don't think you should, especially because it traumatized you so bad.
Yeah, there's a point where, I don't know what might happen, but and you have to say who's going to do anything about it.
Oh, I know.
I know. It makes me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, how am I going to freaking live like this the rest of my life? Like, of people, without this
waiting
case
for
being
justice.
solved.
Yeah, waiting for justice.
And then also people using, Fred as their scapegoat. They keep trying to, because he's kind of like the oddball out, because there's several over on that road on Ben Hill they're all connected. They're all connected. The oddball out is Fred. I mean,
so they're trying to go on different channels every night and pretend Fred Hill did this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and even Ryan Finds Truth is really pushing that too. He's pushing it, that's the very strict, the weirdest thing is like, why is he not focusing on Andy at all when Andy was on the road? And but yet he wants so bad.
Yeah.
He focuses so much on Fred, and it's very strange. I don't understand it. I don't understand why
he's defense. Like he's defense. He's
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like.
And he didn't come around till the summer of 2023, and when Fred went to jail, and
that's
and
late in the game.
Yeah. And now every chance he gets is throwing Fred on their bus, but yet while riding around with Andy Bernard. I don't understand it, but I really
know.
don't.
Now I have a question for you, Ziggy, because for years I know you followed a lot of Jody Sue's ramblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering correctly, there were plenty of videos she did where she was talking about the abuse that she knew of Summer and the drugging of little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this? Do you remember more specifics of it, or does
she talked about Andy. That's the thing. Like she talked about saying that Andy was selling drugs to sedate little girls up on 110. And it's like, how can you say that and know of that, but yet say that, oh, Andy didn't have anything to do with Summer's disappearance or anything. You know what I mean? But yet you can say that he is selling drugs to sedate young girls.
And by young, you mean 5 and 4. Right. You don't mean 16. You don't mean 14. You mean 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds.
Yeah, very young.
Then that incident with that white van at his work with them children.
Yeah, that he admitted to do that too. Well, it wasn't children. That one was girl. Well, I don't know. I don't know. They might have been minor. Like, I don't know. They might have been. Actually, I think they were. I don't know the age of the girls, but I do know that you said they were girls.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, Andy admitted it and talked about it. He claimed that one of his buddies offered him some girls for sale, right? And and like I asked him about that whole story, and I asked him who, and he said
showed up at Hayward.
Tire offering girls. Hey, do you know anybody wants some girls?
What?
And he had him back in the back of the van. Yeah. And Andy, we asked him on my live, I'm like, who was the person, when he said this Stoney, who he's dead now. There's another one. Mike Stone, I think is his name or something. He goes by Stone. Oh, Jim. Yeah, that's right. James Stone. Yeah. And he was the one that was the Mason that I was telling you guys that has a horrible record, but he's a Mason. It says in the obituary that he is a member of the Masons. But you look up this guy's record, it's horrible. It's horrible. So I don't understand it. But yeah, that's the name that Andy Bernard gave. It's like, well, if somebody is going to come up to you and ask, you must already be into the scene. If the
yes, right.
People don't just come up to me, and I don't know about you guys, but I've never had somebody come up to me and offer girls for sale.
Hell no, never. Yeah, he's got to be in that group.
Ring. It's like a loose ring of people.
Yeah.
It's like if you made a spiral, those spiral things that hang, and all the people might not know each other, and they're all interconnected or connected, and it just goes higher and higher levels.
Right.
Higher and higher levels
of
people that came to watch. People that got dressed up and came to watch.
Right. Can Fred hear me okay, Ziggy?
How come you're not on here anymore? I feel all alone, Lauren.
Well, I'll be back up. I'm letting my computer charge a little bit, and I'm in a dark room, so you probably wouldn't be able to see me very well.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving it about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to go back to where I have light.
Okay, now I'm like, I've been abandoned.
What I was going to say to Fred, let me remember. Fred, is it normal in this area where Summer Wells was growing up to see Satanism, to see groups like this exist?
Is it normal, like to see Satanism and stuff in that area?
No,
I mean,
Okay.
like witchcraft and stuff like that.
no, not really.
Well,
So it's,
I mean, there's people
more,
that are into it. Yeah.
okay. So it's more
I
hidden,
mean, it's
but it
not
exists
something
maybe.
to see all along or nothing. No.
But it was known that Fred's Fred's mom was into that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fred's mom and Fred's sister.
And
Fred's
Jody Sue has
grandparent.
indicated she wants, if anyone wants to go out to the woods to do a spell with her and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, she said that.
she said something about in the wood. She talked about a meeting in the woods, and everybody thought it was a KKK meeting. But now it makes me wonder if it had to do with some type of satanic meeting in the woods or something. Because there was some kind of video that people had got off her Facebook, and she's talking about, oh, don't wear any perfume, wear dark clothing, and talking about a bonfire and stuff. And it was before Summer went missing. It was. Yeah, I don't know. People thought it was a KKK.
But see, Doug
Meetup.
Mott he was a member of the KKK.
Oh, that's a new. Yeah, there you go. Donna, that Doug got. He was a member of the white supremacy or a KKK.
Oh, okay.
in Virginia.
Although I don't think that plays into this crime.
No, but
Satanism does for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
of devaluing other people.
Yeah.
For any reason.
They wear capes in that.
Yeah, they do.
They were not what I saw. What I saw was
I know, but I mean,
he wore an executioner's hood.
Yeah,
and he wore
used to wear capes, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you're saying but it wasn't a KKK outfit. It was a executioner's hood, and I also saw him in a top hat. So it was like all theatrical.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go back real quick, Donna and Ziggy and Fred? Can we go back to Donna when you see that Summer Wells is getting picked up? Oh, so cute.
I'm at someone else's house now, so everything is kind of.
Is that Bruno or?
Yeah, look at this coloring. He's going to be so pretty. He's like
he's
8
beautiful.
months old.
What a handsome pup.
Oh my gosh.
He's so cute.
I'm staying at someone's house for a few days, so I put a tarp on the floor just in case they have any accidents.
Oh, that's good.
There's the other one.
Oh, so sweet. I'm glad that you have these babies.
Yeah, I have. I can't live without it.
Right.
What's the black one? What kind's the black one?
That's a Frenchie.
Yeah.
She was another one that I didn't even name her for a couple of weeks. I didn't know she was going to die. She had like a bunch of bite marks on her when I got her for like 20% of the price they normally cost. She smelled bad and she had bites on her. He said she was the runt and the other dogs wouldn't let her eat. But she's really pretty now. She's put on weight and see her.
Aww.
So cute.
If I could get her, I mean, she's really cute when she perks her ears up, and so she's probably doing something she's not supposed to at the moment.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Aww.
You can see her colorings.
Oh, her and Bando could have babies.
So beautiful.
They would make cute babies.
Yeah.
Frenchy palms. French.
Right.
French palm.
And he's so much bigger, and he looks to her for like what's safe and what's not safe.
Like a big sister.
Because he was in a kennel for 23 hours a day. He was going to be kept for just being a breeding dog. And so he is stunted in his growth, but he's real sweet and he trusts me, so I can work with him.
Sweet. Oh, how cute.
But that's one of the questions I would ask Fred all the time too. I'm like, is that just like is the area out there? Is that like it's Satanism or whatever? Is that just like big out in that area? But I guess
Right.
it's, I mean, that's how I asked Fred, I was always wondering how he escaped that, and he, like, how did he not turn out like evil, like,
Exactly. I'm wondering too. Pretty amazing.
He just stayed away. I would go, would you say you would go to school and then
Go to school and stay in the mountains usually. Or
Yeah.
riding horse doing something.
Yeah.
Is there a large amount of Masonic, like a lodge, Masons is what I mean to say, that you know of, Fred? Or is that more, I know it's pretty private, but
Not that I know of.
not that you know of. Okay.
Yeah, just like he didn't know really. I mean, he knew.
I didn't even know what Masons even was until
Yeah.
you was talking about it.
But he didn't know really that Dawn and Candace and them were into, he didn't know anything, didn't suspect anything about any trafficking or anything, before Summer went missing, there was no.
Only thing I knew about Dawn and them, when they first moved to Beach Creek, at the bottom shed on Beach Creek of Dawn Wells, they had moved a single wide in there and advertising sex and stuff for idea when they first moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
They had a trailer and they were advertising sex for sale?
Yeah, they had a billboard like a 4x8 sheet of plywood with everything listed on it, whatever you wanted. And
so wait. So they put a trailer down there. They said it's their new brothel. And who's the person working it?
I just know that Dawn was living there in that trailer, and then there was like 4 other ladies there. One of them appeared to be Pam Wells, and then I was pretty sure Candace was there and stuff too.
So Don was trying to have a pimp thing with his wives and girlfriends.
Was he trying to have a pimp thing? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I just know about it.
Also seeing
it.
How
much? How much? What he had a menu? Where's the menu at? Like on the outside of the bar? I mean, was it online? Was the menu online?
4x8 plywood up on the side of the road, and just had everything listed down through there with a price.
So Don Wells put up a sign that said sex for sale, and then how much you get, like you get a BJ for $20 or something.
Yeah.
A freaking price
and
sheet.
Tell them how it happened, how it got shut. And this is legit because it has been looked into, and this is absolutely legit.
Well, a preacher.
Yeah, I want to hear more about this.
Yeah, me too. I'm all ears.
I've not heard this.
Okay.
I mean,
so a preacher is the one that got it shut down. That's what you're saying.
Orville Dolan, he finally got it shut down.
That's a cop or what?
No, he was a preacher.
Oh, some preacher made Don Wells shut down his brothel.
There, and he had quite a bit of issue of getting it shut down somehow.
Wow. Is prostitution legal in Tennessee?
Is prostitution legal in Tennessee?
No.
But see, that's what doesn't make sense. It's like so could you see the sign from the road?
Yes, it's right on the side of Beach
That's
Creek.
what I don't understand. How cops just let that sign stay up like that?
Okay.
Can you imagine if the cops are so over all these people back in there that they just drive by a sign every day?
Highway,
or maybe they were customers too.
I tried to get a hold of that pastor. He's deceased now, but his brothers are alive, and I tried to get a hold of them because there's a couple of them one of them that Fred said does know about that situation.
Get it shut down too.
But what'd you say, Fred? Say that again.
Orville Dolan's son helped him get it done, some work with him, helped him get the prostitution ring shut down.
Horrible.
Okay, so Don Wells was running a prostitution ring. And do you know if these were adult women or was it
It
all
was
across the
adult
board?
women. What I seen out there was adult women.
Wow.
Like they would be
I
standing
mean, you
outside
just
there.
see them when you pass by there. They'd be, because when you go down Beach Creek and go past Ben Hill Road, the trailer was just right there on the side of the road, like 50 foot off the road or so.
How long
And when,
was that going
what year
on?
was that? What year was that?
It
So
didn't last that long, maybe.
like
several
how
weeks,
long since
about a
how
month
long
or something.
It only happened for a month. About a
but
month.
how
of the summer.
long how long
that.
before Summer Wells was missing was Dawn having people sell sex for money? I
How
mean,
long?
besides his kid, for this camper thing that he had going on.
When do you think that was?
Like
going
around
on?
what year you think?
The Dawn with that trailer on the
Yeah, the
road.
prostitution.
Oh, that was when Dawn Burry first moved to Tennessee. I'm trying to think what year.
Like 2014.
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
So he was
He was
a
still with
sexual
Pam,
entrepreneur.
I think at that time.
He was still with Pam.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
that
what
was,
before.
that was about time him and Candace first. They
Yeah,
introduced Candace.
yeah, because when he
Tennessee.
was with Pam, he kind of was with Candace too at the same time. I think, from my
Mhm.
understanding, I don't know. It's a weird. Who knows what kind of weird stuff they had going on?
Like a freaking 3-ring circus. It's insane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Okay, so what that makes me remember now is the whole barrel. Remember that, guys? The barrel with the for sale
Yeah.
sign. You got Summer kind of dancing or in the rain or something near it.
Mhm.
They had her in front of it, and you could tell if someone was directing her to move back in front of it when she danced off
Yeah.
to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Wills had that as his profile video on
know.
Facebook when this happened.
I know.
And he left it that way. I'm like, aren't
Yeah.
you being a little obvious, dude?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying how he puts everything out there in plain sight. Everything's out in plain sight.
Everything in plain sight. Yeah.
It's a
Not-
way
And
to
then when people say something, he tells them to get their mind out of the gutter.
Right.
He's the one doing it.
It's purposely done to desensitize the public and desensitize,
Yes.
make it seem normal.
Yeah.
This stuff seem normal.
Completely.
Just like we were talking about earlier about how that incident that Jose talked about a kitten being thrown to the, Summer's kitten being thrown to the dogs right in front of her. Dawn throwing Summer's kitten in. This is what Jose said. Right. And the kitten was torn to shreds right in front of Summer because they fought over it thinking it was food.
Wow.
But I was going somewhere with that.
Why did Jose say they did that? What was the purpose to traumatize Summer? What was it? Why did they do
that? That made me think, was that a way to desensitize? Were they trying to desensitize her at a young age?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a way to traumatize her so she freezes during trauma. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
that's a way to break her brain apart so that she gets PTSD and starts forming honeycombs. Then they can do stuff to her that's real traumatic, and then she won't remember.
Right. Jose is the one that told about that story. And I can't remember exactly. It was the way he told it, he said that Dawn was upset and threw the cat or something, but still it made me wonder, with everything now, all the Satanism and stuff coming up, if it was a way to desensitize, make
and to show her that she has no power and she better do what she's told.
Yeah, show her what he's capable of. Yeah.
And what could happen to her if she doesn't do what Daddy says.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Donna, going back in time to when you first did your reading on this case, I remember that was before we ever really heard anything about the possible SA perpetrated from Dawn. And in your reading, you spoke about that a lot. Maybe we should be more cryptic about it.
Yeah, we should be more cryptic. I mean, we've covered that. I think really today there's some real bombshells in here.
Absolutely.
And I think if we left it at this, we could catch back up in a couple of weeks. And so people could focus on The location that we figured out where this transfer of this child took place,
I
and
agree.
also potential description of the killer.
Yeah, I think we should come back for a round 2, guys. If you're in, I would love to.
Yeah.
And new things we learned even today.
There's so
George
much.
Bernard was,
We haven't
was
even-
on that road, and Andy Bernard lied to the cops and didn't retract his lie until after they showed him a video that he actually was up
And then
in
he's
there
still on
in the
YouTube.
hollow. And in my reading, I said Candace doesn't turn the way that you would think she would turn if she was going to go to town or whatever. And Fred right away said, "Oh, that means she went up into the hollow." And then I told him about the hunchback and all that, and we just went from there. And I was just like stunned. I was like,
stunning.
Fred could hear my readings and solve this.
Oh, I think he's so important. I really do.
I've always thought that. But
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't even covered like even scratch the surface. There's so much to this. That's why it's been taking so long for. Well, I'm hoping police are trying to do something. Gosh, I don't know.
I wish.
It is frustrating.
It
But
is.
I could see how it would take. I mean, there's so many people with the same names, people going by like different names.
I mean, aliases and everything.
Yeah.
That's not the police's problem. What the police's problem is, they follow a chain of physical evidence.
Uh-huh.
You know, and if it drops and doesn't pick up somewhere, there's nothing they can do. What are they supposed to do? They don't know what to do.
Because it
Even
could-
if they knew.
Anyways. Yeah, so true. I have a question before we depart, guys.
Mhm.
So, Fred, had you seen Don Wells with Andy Bernard much before that day? Ever? Those days?
I had never seen them talk to each other before that day.
Okay.
He
Before the
didn't find
15th.
out till after how much they were connected. Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like as
What do you
far
mean?
as
How
Knoxville,
are they
runs,
connected?
like running Knoxville runs to running drugs.
I
Well,
never heard about that. Did you, Lauren?
I vaguely remember. Ziggy, tell the story if you would, whatever you know of it.
well, it just okay. Oh gosh, there's several times the Knoxville stuff has came up, like where about Dawn going to Knoxville and drug runs, and then Jody Sue's brought it up, the Andy going there, and then also there's that person that there's so much. This guy named DJ Smith that Fred met while he was over in Knoxville at the halfway house, who claimed to be affiliated with the Vice Lords and claimed to know who Playboy was. Oh gosh, there's so
His
much.
name was DJ Smith.
Yeah, and he wanted to help Fred, and he claimed he knew where Summer was, and Fred was like,
Wow.
anyways, he told a lot of stories about knowing of Andy and Dawn getting drugs and stuff.
Yeah, and the drug debt and all that.
Having a drug debt, and
That goes-
also Jody Sue mentioned about Andy's runs to Knoxville, and
But all
Of
that
them
had been
going together?
confirmed, that
So
from
Jody.
DJ
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fred. What did you say? What did Fred say?
that information was turned in from that guy from Knoxville that Fred met, who claimed to know where Summer was.
DJ Smith.
Yeah, he knew it was going to go to law enforcement too. I mean, it seemed kind of odd. This guy, he just claimed to know. I mean, Fred was in Knoxville, and Knoxville has came up a lot. And this guy claimed to know where Summer was, and
There's a
claimed
lot of recordings and stuff between me and him, and texts and stuff that I took my phone to Hawkins County to have them to extract everything off of it.
yeah, they took that seriously too. And they also looked the guy up, asked Fred if this was him, showed him a picture.
We
And
went over several maps, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and that would have been also
That was in 2024.
That was the early beginning of 2024 when that happened.
It was what, May?
It's weird how this shit keeps
2024?
happening to Fred. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
that seemed unbelievable. It's like, how this is, Fred goes to this. They just happen to put him in a halfway house in Knoxville, of all places, for one.
and which was
It
within.
made me wonder if they did it on purpose.
I think they did, guys. When you said that, all of a sudden it just made a lot of sense to
I know,
me.
and I kind of got pissed for a while. I'm like, dude, if they were using Fred without his knowledge for police work, and that kind of
Well, they
made me
do that all the time. They'll put an inmate in there that is in there for the sole purpose of seeing if for what Fred knows, if just any information.
Yeah,
They
there's
do
a
that all the time when people are in jail.
From the motels where Dawn was supposed to be visiting, they put me within less than a mile from the motels.
Yeah, where this halfway house. And it seems like it's almost like they did it on purpose. Because he was supposed to go to a halfway house in December. They kept him a whole 2 months extra waiting to get him into this specific halfway for some reason. When he gets there was tons of open beds, so it didn't even make sense.
6 open beds when I got
It's
there.
almost like they waited on purpose for him to be there at the same time as another person or something.
I would say that's what happened, guys. It really sounds like it to me.
I mean, it was crazy. Like his time was up. Like, and he was sitting there, like he couldn't go anywhere. He had to sit there in jail.
Dennis ended up being there a week before I got there.
So they put you in there a week after he had arrived.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder. I mean, it seriously makes you wonder if they did it on purpose, because thinking back now, you know, what we know now, it's like, dude, I think, because how is it that he just so happens to go get put in a Knoxville halfway house, just so happens to run into this guy that claims to know where Summer is? You know what I mean? Like, same guy, Fred being the same guy who saw Amy Bernard on the road and all this shit happening. It's crazy. Like,
that's
how
police
much
work
can happen to one person?
You know, that's police work. It sounds just like it, doesn't it?
It does make me think.
And see, when I had them to extract all that off my phone with that Knoxville information, that's when they had told me that they wasn't letting it go over Pruitt's desk, that they were sending it straight to TBI, because a lot of stuff that was going to Pruitt's desk was going straight in the trash.
Oh, really?
That's what other investigators said to Fred.
Like 5 other investigators.
Jack's surprised. Oh my gosh.
And when Fred turned that in, they asked to keep his phone overnight, and he's like,
because the TBI forensics that downloaded the stuff off of it wasn't around.
So they took that stuff seriously.
He had to come back from Knoxville up there to do it. So we wait until he got there.
It's almost like they were waiting for you. Almost like they were expecting you or something. Just wait. Seriously, because they already knew that you would tell, because you had helped so much already before. So they knew me and you were in communication too, and that you would probably relay that back to me. So yeah, I think that they were purposely doing certain things.
I think this is called a Perkins operation, from what I remember. So it says here, if an individual speaks freely to someone whom they believe is a fellow inmate, it is allowed to take advantage of their misplaced trust. That's known as a Perkins operation, just so you know.
Yeah, that's common. They do that all the time. They do that with almost every high-profile case. Yeah. When they're in jail, they'll put someone else in there with them that they're hoping that person will get a reduced sentence.
I would have happily done it for him, but you know, and the only thing is that sucked is he had to stay in jail an extra 2 months for it. But I mean, it's all in the name of Summer Wells. I'm sure he'd be happy to stay an extra couple months, but at the time it sucked.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, the best thing ever is that he's up there with you. Now, because to me, he would probably end up on this list of dead people.
That's what I
was so scared. I really was. And when people say,
and they try to control all of the communication from jail and stuff.
Oh yeah, you should have saw. You know how YouTube was acting and calling and harassing the jail because I did that video call with Fred.
Yeah. They were trying to not let people talk to Fred. I remember, right? Is that right, Fred?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and anybody who mentioned his name, like, they took away his chirp, and then, you know, he would use somebody else's chirp. And and they got onto that. So anytime somebody would mention Fred's name, they would take his chirp. Their chirp. Chirp is it's like a texting device that you can have in jail that is monitored. Nice. But you have to pay for it, obviously, and you have to be. It's a privilege that can be taken away, or. Yeah. Obviously, and they took his away like pretty much immediately, and they tried to say because people were calling that people were calling the jail and telling them that Fred was live streaming, which was obviously not true. It was
People are so ridiculous.
Everyone else was live streaming.
I mean,
Yeah.
they come in the cell block and stuff, even search for cell phone and stuff, my cells and stuff.
oh gosh, even when Fred was in there was even a cell that had writing all over the wall about Summer Wells, which is enough graffiti that had to be painted over. It had mentioned Summer Wells. It was a picture. They had,
It was all kinds of pictures and stuff.
That's
like
weird.
places and stuff.
and gang. Wasn't there some like
Yeah.
gang language? Like,
Is a lot of Vice Lord mentioned in it all.
yeah, Vice Lords come up a
What's
lot.
that Vice Lord? Is that the drug
Is it a
dealer?
biker gang?
around there?
That's a gang. Yeah, it's a Vice Lords is a. Remember, I don't know if you ever heard my Lady of the Night call, but there's a woman I talked to who claimed that Don Wells, drug dealer, went by Playboy from Knoxville, and she told me this whole story and stuff, and that was the guy that DJ Smith claimed to know is this Playboy character, the drug dealer. Sorry.
Oh, so these two stories kind of intersected.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to keep everything straight.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
I mean,
But there's no relationship to the DJ Smith in jail to the John Smith that's now dead up in Ben Hill.
I have no idea. I don't know if there are or not.
I would think he would say, you would think he would say he was related because he mentioned Andy Bernard. Yeah. So if he was related to John Smith, he'd probably be related to Andy Bernard too.
Yeah, he'd be related.
So Fred, if I understand correctly, you went to a halfway house and DJ Smith was there and he told you that both Andy and Don used to run drugs back and forth together?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure.
And get women, right? Or did he mention women? Or did
he just talked about the drug debt that Andy and Don owed, the 40-some thousand. He said a specific number.
He said that Don Wells and Andy Bernard together owed a drug debt.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
That was just the right amount of money.
Yeah, and the amount of money was around that 50,000.
It was like 48,000. He said a specific number. It was like 48,000 and then some odd dollars. But he said a specific number.
Oh my gosh!
All the way out.
So if somebody wanted Summer, what a better way than to let the parent run up a huge drug debt that they can't pay?
Exactly, and he's known to have tried to sell his kids in the past.
According to this DJ guy, tell him real quick before we go what was the whole plan. With Summer, what was the plan at first, supposedly, according to this DJ?
Well, according to DJ, what was supposed to happen was actually she was supposed to be helped until they got the money up and brought to them finally. Supposedly they had owed them for quite a while or whatever, my understanding. But supposedly she was supposed to transfer her on the 13th, but were supposedly Don had told them something other about the CPS supposed to come on the 14th. They agreed to wait till the 15th before the transaction was made. And then she was just supposed to be held until the money was handed over. Then Don called her in missing and stuff, and DJ claimed that's when the whole ball game changed, when instead of bringing the money, he took and called her in missing, and then when he called her in missing, they went no way of returning her without a lot of people going down.
So basically what was Summer was allegedly, according to him, or according to DJ Smith, supposed to be held only until they came up with the money that they owed. But then it got too high profile. And
that's what you said, Donna.
That was in the readings, yeah. That was in the readings that at first she was going to be in a trafficking ring, it says, for 1 or 2 years.
I got the chills on that.
So this whole, what Donna saw, as far as, the whole, if unaliving, if that, unfortunately, if that did happen, it could have happened way after her, maybe it didn't happen.
No, it was in a matter of days, but there was, I think, about 3 days of her being harmed horribly, hurt horribly. before the final thing.
Yeah. But originally, I don't think that it was supposed to go down like that. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, she was going to go into the trafficking ring for a year or two. I know that's in the reading in one of their, I don't know if that one was uploaded or not. But
and I wonder if that's what.
See, DJ kept trying to say she was still alive. What was
Yeah.
it?
That would be nice. I know. It'd be great if it was just all an act and all pretend. And
that's what he was. That's the thing that threw us off. Is this guy tried to claim that Summer was still alive at that time?
Yeah, in March of 2024.
Yeah.
Well, where did he think she was?
At the drug dealers, being kept at a house with the drug dealer and other kids.
Motel with 11.
Well,
they've moved. DJ said they's moving her between her and 10 more children. There's one boy and is Summer and 9 more girls and one little boy who's supposed to be moved between a house and 3 different motels through Knoxville.
That makes sense because I saw her moved. I know that she didn't just go to one location and stay there. I did see her moved. And see, the thing is the summer solstice is on the 21st, right?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
So, like for me, just being a spiritualist, I would do rituals for the summer solstice, but they'd be like positive rituals. But a Satanist, that's a day for human sacrifice.
It's a big one. It's a big day.
It's a major one.
Yep, and that was just a few days after Summer went missing, so it makes sense.
So I saw her. I know she would have been alive for at least a couple of days because I saw some things going on, and it would make sense to if they were going to do what I saw, it would make sense that it would be on that day.
Wow. This is so fascinating. Can I ask one more question and then we go?
Yeah.
Okay. Fred, how did the cops approach you to do this undercover type work on Dawn and Candace? And why are you up with the audio recording device? How did they approach you to do that?
Well, they just come and was asking question me about what Dawn was talking about and stuff. And then they're like, well, how would you feel about recording for us? And I'm like, well, if it's for Summer, sure,
Okay.
But you guys had an agreement, or you said just for Summer.
Yeah.
You're like, but yeah, so they asked the day of.
Yeah.
Within hours.
So the night
after Dawn had left, you remember Dawn had gone down there. He tells everybody on YouTube that he went down there to kick in Fred's door, basically. The meth dealer's door, and it acted like he was going to be big and bad, but he actually went down there all like a cowardly lion, just went down there and just talked to him.
You would have never thought that nothing was even going on by his emotions that evening that Summer going missing. He had no emotions at all.
That's so freaking weird.
And he's talking about the resurrection, the night of. I mean, that's, insane.
There's so many parallels that I'm hearing. You guys, I cannot tell you, Fred and Ziggy, how much you guys are making sense of everything Donna's been saying since the beginning. You guys are putting the pieces together. It's amazing.
I think Fred is key, and
he is.
I mean, this goes without saying. Obviously, Fred, you should never, ever, ever go back to that hollow again.
Oh God!
Not with this long list of dead people.
Not until answers for Summer. That's one thing we were talking to Lauren about. She's like, would you ever go back there? And like, it would be cool one day to be able to go back there and live on, but everything would have to be solved with the case and stuff. Right now it's way too dangerous.
It's super dangerous. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential witnesses dead that we know of, if not more.
Definitely more. Yeah, there's more. I just can't think of top of my head. All of them.
They're trying to say like they're 20-some, ain't they?
Yeah, I think there's more like 20-some, but I can't. I'd have to sit down and write them down.
Just like Ben Hill Road and Simpson Lane off of Ben Hill Road, they've been 5 people passed away since Summers went missing, but most of them's been this.
Like 2 of them was Fred's parents, which was just health related and stuff.
Right.
C is my mom, my dad, then John Smith, then Mary Sexton. Mary Sexton's old man.
Wow.
And
Oh,
Mary
since
Sexton,
within a year at her summer went missing.
Mhm.
That
Then
was
who was Mary married to?
Yeah.
who's married.
Mary Sexton. Who was she married to?
I'm not for sure who she's married to.
Isn't she related to a goat or something?
Yeah, she was a goat.
Yeah,
Is
I
she
think
dead
she was-
now?
Yeah.
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 I read that. Just people dropping like flies around this case.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm actually surprised that they haven't gotten rid of Candace
Where-
and Dawn.
Because Mary, she lived on Simpson Lane off of Ben Hill, very last trailer or house on the left.
So everyone that might have seen something is just dropping dead like flies.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
freaking.
I was so worried about Fred being out there.
Yeah, he shouldn't even go visit.
No,
Not even a visit.
no.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to remind you, Lauren, about warning other creators who constantly steal your work and artwork and make shitty little live streams, stealing work instead of ever coming up with their own. You're going to put a strike.
Yeah.
You're going to put a strike on anyone who downloads this. And if we're able to put a strike, we're going to put a strike.
Yeah, this is a warning. Listen, I'm all for let's share information and whatever. But if you're going to play my live stream and collect all these super chats and then smear me and smear Dawn and smear Ziggy and Fred, consider yourself striked already. Zero tolerance. It's not happening. No more the Queen Bee stuff. No more the share stuff. No more the Ryan Finds Truth stuff. Who else, guys? If you're not a friend personally of mine, Donna, Ziggy's, or Fred's, do not even try.
Exactly.
Do not even try. Because I'm not playing, and neither are they. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
If you
Come
want
up with your own work. Some of these people have whole entire channels where they never create their own content. They just play other people's, and they collect money for it.
No.
Oh, yeah.
While calling us grifters.
Absolutely.
Well, they're collecting money off of us, of our grifting, they claim.
Yeah. They should compare what they made to what we've made. I mean,
they make more money off of us, which it's seriously.
They don't do any work at all. They just sit there and insult people who are actually trying to make a difference.
People that care about these cases, that actually give a rat's and want to talk about it, and then they collect all the money making fun of us. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's egregious, and it's not going to work anymore.
No.
So good luck, people. You're getting striked.
Yeah, and consider yourself warned.
Yeah, you're warned. You are warned. If you're a friend to me, though, and I like you, it's fine.
Yeah, well, they can contact you and ask you, too. It's like to do all that work, and then the next day, there's 2 or 3 of these just low-life scumbags, and they just sit there and play your live stream while they're collecting super chats and insult you. And,
it's
like,
yeah, and they
I don't know.
They didn't spend all that time like we did trying to get the stream working. We spent an hour before this trying to get us all.
Yeah, a whole hour just to get our audio working.
And just to get our schedules on the same track and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's work to actually do research.
Oh, it's a lot
and
of work.
And put out information. Okay, so back away from this subject. We let them know. And is there anything in closing, Fred? Any more information that feeling like you need to get out of you, or that you want to tell us?
You're putting them on the spot. No, but
I just mean because sometimes there's people hang up and then they're like, I wanted to say this. Yeah. So I'm just saying, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Not right now.
No, but we would love to come back. I'm sure he would love. I mean, because this is only a freaking tiny bit of, there's so much more.
And you know what, guys, as you think of stuff that you want to say, try to jot it down so that the next time we talk, we can remember these things. Because I know how hard it is to remember what you want to say.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I've learned some new information just on this live stream, besides what we figured out the other day. I never knew, what's his name? George Bernard was on Ben Hill Road at the time after Summer went missing. And I never knew that Andy Bernard lied to the cops and then was on video And that's the only reason he admitted he was actually a backup in there around the same time she went missing.
And he still
Yeah, but he still denies it on YouTube.
Running drugs. Like, there's a lot in this live stream here. There's a lot.
This is really something. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Guys, I really enjoyed everybody's time. Thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, just let us know if we want to do it again. We're here.
Yeah.
Okay, and real quick, Donna, where can people find you? Give your information, please.
I just realized I forgot to put my name. So my name is Rev Donna Seraphina. I am a spiritualist reverend, and my channel is called Psychic Reverend Donna Seraphina.
And Ziggy and Fred, where can people find you?
Well, over on the Ziggy channel, if you type in Ziggy Summer Wells, you'll find us with the butterfly. And also, you can always email me at youtubeziggy@outlook.com if you need to get a hold of us. So
awesome. I believe you guys are the answer for helping solve this. I really believe that.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do.
100%.
I think Fred and Donna definitely could figure
Absolutely.
some stuff out for sure.
Absolutely.
And all happen. So
yeah, and you know what? While we're here, I just want to say to everybody that watches this, if you would take a little bit of time and go listen to some of Donna's past work, I think it would give you even more confidence that she knows what she's talking about. When she says she saw something and she's certain of it, take it to the bank because it happened. That's my experience.
Yeah, there's certain things that I know are going to be there. You know, some things will go fast and I'm not quite sure. And other things are like, they show me over and over, and I know that that is going to be an element of this.
Yeah. Sure. And so many of the elements we talked about were things you first said in your reading, Donna. So that's why it's very interesting and important.
And when I talked to Fred a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, do you know anyone with a stammer around there? And then right away he knew. And then I'm like, oh, and there was a guy with a hunchback, or I thought it was a guy, but there was someone with a hunchback where the trade-off happened in front of a barn or just slightly inside the barn or whatever. And he knew who that was too. Well, there's two potential people it could possibly be. But I mean, we've narrowed down where the trade-off happened to 2 locations, and we've narrowed down the person to 2 people. And then we've narrowed down the person with a stammer to probably 1 person.
Right. And real fast, guys, do you know what's going on with Candace and how she was friends with a lady, Dee Dee? Dee Dee's now died. Candace is supposedly cohabitating with her husband. And now the husband has.
Yeah, I don't know about the details of that whole thing, really. I don't know if she's still there or if she's back with Dawn. I heard she was back with Dawn.
Okay.
Did she get to keep the car for the lady that died? Did she get to keep the car?
I heard she was driving around her car, but I don't know. I don't know about that situation. I don't know much about that one. Fred walked outside here. He went outside.
Okay. Well, we can dive into that next time a little bit.
Yeah.
The autopsy, we'll know about it. So I'm curious.
I just have to really pee. You know, you guys know me. I pee nonstop. So
okay. Nice to talk with you, Ziggy.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Donna. Oh, my computer's about to die. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for having me, Lauren. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.